everybody. I am Griffin.
I'm David Sims.
Welcome to Griffin and David present Revenge of the Podcast live. Thank you for joining us here at Union Hall this excellent night as we prepare to watch, I think I can speak for both of us, Revenge of the Sith for our last time.
Yeah, I'll never see this movie again.
This is the last time.
For the 11th and last time.
I've used both of my drink tickets already because that's the only state I want to watch this movie in. I don't know if everyone's caught up with the podcast. We released an episode today in which we had the guest, the big guest we've been aiming for.
Finally landed the white whale.
From the beginning of this exploration of 3 films, trying to figure out what these movies are about. We finally got the white whale. We got George Lucas on the show. So I want to bring him out because he's agreed to do the commentary as well. Before I do, I think we need to bring out, really the hero.
Yep.
Of Griffin.
You want to
David
trade him
present.
off? You want to trade him off?
Yes. He is, you might know him as Producer Ben.
Maybe Purduer Ben.
Maybe Ben Deucer.
Poet Laureate.
The Haas.
Hello Fennel.
The Peeper.
Is that it?
The Tiebreaker.
The Tiebreaker. There's one more you
Mr.
added.
Positive.
Mr. Positive.
And the Poet Laureate. Oh, you said the Poet
I said the Poet
Okay.
Laureate. Everybody, please.
Welcome to the stage, Producer Ben Hosley, a.k.a. Producer Ben Kenobi.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
That was the recent one. That was made up. Ben, how are you feeling?
I am not happy to be watching this again. I hate this movie. It sucks. But I don't know. I'm glad that a bunch of people came out to watch, so that's cool.
You were positive about this show this afternoon.
Yeah. And then I showed up.
Then you showed up.
I came into the bar,
Yeah.
and the first words he said to me were, "I'm so angry."
Yes, because nothing was figured out. You guys didn't plan this. So I had to figure it out. So thanks a lot. Appreciate
Mr. Positive,
it.
everyone.
It's a great night so far.
Call you Producer Ben for a reason. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage the mastermind, the architect, the
You want to list his
genius.
credits?
Sure. He directed THX 1138.
Great movie.
American Graffiti.
Love that movie.
We just found out there was a rough draft, an
Yeah,
early...
some 70s movie.
He test screened a movie in 1977 called Star Wars A New Hope, the Special Edition is the title
I don't
that
know.
he
I don't know.
gave
He can
us.
explain.
Apparently, he made 3 Star Wars movies that weren't released until later, but, the main reason we're all here tonight is, of course, the Phantom Menace trilogy, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Academy Award nominee George Lucas. Thank you. Thank you, George, for being here.
Welcome, George.
Oh, complete with lightsaber. You brought your own...
Complete with tiny lightsabers.
You got a chode of a lightsaber there.
That's how you use it.
Okay. Well, we got a stupid
Great
long
opening
movie to
words.
watch, so let's just start it without further ado. I
Yeah,
think,
let's
right?
get this over with.
Let's get this over
Come
with.
on, Ben.
George, this is a rare opportunity you have. It's a public screening of the film with an audience here, rabid fans.
Yeah.
Is there any context you want to give them for how to view this film?
You like great movies?
Okay. Okay, George.
That answer will dictate how you feel about this.
Okay, so if you're listening at home, this is a 20th Century Fox logo.
Yeah, we are recording this.
Recording this. This is an audio commentary that you can listen to at home.
Last time you'll hear this fanfare before a Star Wars movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So that fanfare is off?
It's gone.
Wow, that's incredible.
When you wish upon a star.
Okay, now,
Wars.
credit where credit's due. I like this part.
This part's good.
This
Great
part's really
subtitle.
good.
And this?
Cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I like the subtitles,
Yeah.
too.
I do too.
Very
There's subtitles so everyone can
Well, that font can be hard to read. Because the bends a little.
Are you gonna do maybe?
Yeah, okay.
One
so,
last.
so episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, if people are watching along with the movie, they can read this.
War!
It's an exciting way to start a movie.
Yeah, I like the exclamation point
Punchy.
that early on.
Evil is everywhere, George.
Yep.
Now, you lead with Count Dooku. You mentioned Count Dooku plays
Also,
heavily into this
do you
first
like that?
paragraph.
I justified the text, but it leaves some big spaces sometimes. Like between Lord and Count and Dooku.
I think you also use a 2-period rather than a 3-period ellipsis
Yeah.
at one point.
Were you given a character limit that you had to hit for this crawl? Because it feels like you were cheating
No, this
to
is
hit
an
3
indie
pages.
movie. Indie movies
It's an
are
indie movie,
creator
right.
controlled.
Right.
I don't have some studio executive
Oh no, it's
looking
4.
over my shoulder.
It's 4 periods.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
that's a tip forward to it's a little sneak peek of episode 4.
That's what that
Right
was
there.
a conscious
one for each
choice.
episode that I would direct.
That is incredible. So wait,
Period.
you directed 4. You're saying you didn't direct the other ones?
Which ones?
The ones you made in the 70s or whatever.
Well, I test screened New Hope in '77.
Yeah.
Then we did test screenings of Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi, and then we released all 3 in 1 year.
They weren't finished until the 90s.
Yeah, in 1997.
Yeah.
Oh, great opening shot.
I mean, at this point, a little played out, though. You use the same opening
Well,
shot.
it's the ring theory. Read that website.
Oh, great.
Ship
Everything's
lighting.
mirrored. Whoa, where'd those ships come from? Looks
It's
great.
From underneath, though.
Little surprise.
At us.
With the cameras from underneath? Oh,
Well, the
usually,
ship's
yes.
from
Usually it's from
underneath, yeah.
underneath. So is there any symbolism to that? That usually...
I like stuff that goes fast.
Okay.
I'm so glad we got him.
Me too. This
Yeah.
is great.
Oh, look at
These are
that.
the kind of explanations I was waiting
You couldn't
for.
do this any other way other than digitally. It's amazing. You're telling me you're not wowed by that? Look at that. That's amazing.
I mean, honestly, I have a little bit of a headache already.
Well, it's evil is everywhere. It's a traumatic time. Headache is a good response.
So, I gotta get into... Your big argument for a lot of your creative decisions is that anything we don't like was intentional. That these
No.
movies are not
No,
largely
that's
meant
a
to be
coincidence.
enjoyed. That's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence that the parts that you think you don't like are just parts where I designed you should have a bad feeling because,
Evil
as
is everywhere.
the famous joke goes, I have a bad feeling about this. It's built into the fabric of the movies. There's R2.
There's our first line of dialogue.
Oh.
Lock on to him, R2.
Lock onto him, R2.
How's the volume here? Is the movie too loud? Are we too quiet? This is housekeeping because we got a long way to go. I want to make sure.
Yeah,
everyone-
people
Look at these.
speak up.
Look at these things.
Yeah.
I love these. Look.
This is a collaborative experience.
Oh,
Okay, now vulture droids. We have accused these characters, if we can even call them that, of being craven creations solely to sell toys. Can you tell me what the story impetus was for the vulture droids?
well, first of all, kids love toys. I don't think that's
Yeah,
a bad motive. No, I'm sorry I created a character that was so cool that they made a toy out of it.
I think it's the buzz
Oh.
droids that are really annoying. They're coming up.
This is where the fun begins. That's intentional. I put that line there because that is literally
Yeah.
where the real fun of the movie begins.
So we're not supposed to be having fun up until this point? That's your
You
explanation?
have
No.
your characters constantly describing how much fun they're having,
Yeah.
just in
Yeah.
case we're not getting it.
Well, that's my movies appeal to both smart people and stupid people. So I sometimes put a little gift in for someone who doesn't know this is supposed to be fun.
Now, here's the thing I've harped on in past episodes. When they cut to this clone commander here,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
helmet is entirely CGI. That is a real human being with a CGI helmet put over his face, which is why the light hits it in weird
Looks
ways.
better.
Is that your honest argument, that that looks better than buying a physical helmet and putting it on a guy's head?
Well, you noticed it. I don't think we'd be talking about it if it looked like some shitty practical helmet.
Well, I think that's the goal. I shouldn't be taken out of the scene to... creative decisions. I told you I came on too hard on the podcast. I'm going to try to...
Yeah, you gotta tone
Temper
it
my
down, Griff,
emotions
you know.
here.
He's our friend. He's here with us tonight.
These are friends.
See, that's a little. No, see how many no's I put there? 5 no's. That's a little. That's a call forward. That word's going to be important later in the film. I planned it a lot of times where people said the word no, so that later on,
Now-
I don't want to spoil it in case this is a first viewing for anyone. But the word no is key to this movie.
Okay?
And you've said no is your least favorite word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I put the word no in this movie so many
right,
times.
Griffin.
Because
Yep.
this is the low point. This is the
What do you have
tragedy,
there,
bad
Griffin?
things.
I got corn dogs. Am I going to not eat dinner? What are you
Okay,
talking
so our only
We got to eat on mic. That's what our fans want.
Yeah.
I will say I was disappointed that the phrase flying is for droids didn't catch on. I kind of put that in there thinking people would start saying that.
Maybe put it on T-shirts. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, these are the buzz droids. These are the toy droids. Look at these
Oh,
things.
adorable, but also sinister.
And he's gonna say, "Hit the center eye." He's not.
Oh, look what they did.
Oh, that's brutal.
That is. That shows I have balls. Look what I was willing to do.
George, can I ask you, what is an instance in where you imagined that a person would use that phrase in everyday conversation?
Like if someone didn't want to fly on an airplane,
Yeah.
like people who are afraid of flying could say, like, I'll drive, I don't want to take an airplane. Flying is for droids.
So
They liked it.
Your plan was for that phrase to be used anytime someone didn't like being...
Yeah, like right now there's a travel advisory until February 24th because of terrorism.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't want to fly, but you want a fun catchphrase, and you don't want to be brought down by the real world topic of fear of a massive attack, say flying is for droids. It kind of lightens a serious moment. Hold on, Anakin, you're going to get us both killed.
You can only use it if you think...
No, I was just quoting what was just said in the movie.
Oh, great.
You should be watching the movie, Griffin, rather than eating on mic.
I've seen this like 9 times.
It's not enough.
He's gonna say it.
That line? Is that the big
No, no,
line
no.
he was going to say?
the most dramatically inert fight. There you go.
Now, there's a massive difference in the amount of danger Obi-Wan seems to be in terms of his performance.
Yeah, he's ready for death.
Yeah, he's scared.
He says, like, go on without me, it's over.
Yeah.
He's going to get killed by some buzz droids.
Anakin seems to be treating this with the seriousness of buying soup at a grocery store. Was that a conscious? Did you direct Hayden in that direction?
You flatter?
I said, Hayden, less. The camera sees everything.
I mean, I give you...
There it is. Hilarious joke. Most successful joke in the history of humor.
The most successful joke in the history of humor.
Made more money than any other single joke that's owned by one.
How do you rank how much money a joke makes?
Well, how many of the biggest selling movies of all time is it in? Exclusively.
Do you consider yourself a humorist, George?
No, yes, I do, but not exclusively.
A satirist?
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, it's a thrilling sequence.
I'm a storyteller first and foremost.
Once again, they look completely unafraid. Yep.
None of this was real. I made all of this up.
I mean, yeah, that's how movies work.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's how movies work.
No, but I mean, this doesn't exist somewhere. We'd have to tear this down at the end.
Just turn off the computer.
So was that the argument that it was more eco-friendly to not build
it's
sets?
completely green. Every other movie, they got to burn all the wood when they're done.
Yeah, you also...
Is that what they do? They burn the sets?
Yeah, if they don't need them anymore. I mean, you should have seen the dumpsters at the end of this movie were just empty. They were just like people... They came by and said, "No trash." I'm like, "No, it's all digital."
Here's one of your most
Oh,
famous
this guy is
creations, General
badass.
Grievous.
Okay, so
Here's
talk
his
General
coughing.
Grievous.
Can you talk to us a little about the
He's got a
creation
limp.
of Grievous?
He's
was
wearing a coat because he's cold, because robots get cold.
Did you notice that the whole crowd went silent? That scares the shit out of people.
Yeah, he's imposing. Especially smokers cough.
That's right. Oh, these guys, their bubbles are so... great stuff.
How many times have you seen this movie, George?
I mean, I couldn't count. I've seen it. I probably see it once a week.
And do you love it just as much every time?
Yeah, probably more.
So this is the most you've ever liked this movie by that measure.
Yeah, probably. It's my favorite screening so much.
I mean, you guys are talking a lot, but that's okay.
But there's a crowd, a laughing crowd.
That's right. They love it. Laughter is one of the most positive human responses you can have.
So this is where elevator antics.
This is where elevator antics.
I don't know
the
if you guys have heard the
infamous
elevator
deleted
antics episode.
Okay, so R2 has a lot of comedy in this movie.
I love how
starting
R2
now.
has to hold a cell phone in his little... He's a robot. He doesn't have it built in.
They couldn't bake that into the...
R2's got a lot of personality. He could do it that way, but he prefers it that way. It's tactile.
He prefers to be able to dial
Yeah.
the numbers with his little...
With his little sort of plastic...
R2-D2's always been a character who just dances to the beat of his own drummer, you know?
Okay, so this is a great example of that. R2's trying to help them get the elevator up
He
the
holds
shaft.
it up to his mouth as if they'll understand what he's saying when he talks into it. He doesn't
Right.
hold it up to his ear.
Right. Which we know that they can't understand what R2-D2 is saying because C-3PO is a character that only exists so that he can translate R2-D2.
But
They don't know how to interpret his speech.
like, if he'd put it away, they wouldn't notice him.
No.
There's a lot of logical flaws, George.
No, those aren't logical flaws. People are imperfect. They make mistakes. I mean, in the world of the movie, not me.
But he's a robot.
Yeah, he's a robot, but he's got personality.
Yeah.
That's why we love him. That's why we love R2. See? Droids have personality. They're not just machines.
So there's like 2 more hours of this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Maybe 210. You know.
Oh, boy.
that was a digital effect.
Thanks for coming by, everyone.
No, that was a digital effect. That last thing you pointed out, that
Yeah.
was a digital
Is this
effect.
digital right here?
Yeah, it's all digital, but
When
that
he
last one
PP's
was...
oil, that wasn't real oil. You didn't shoot real oil.
No, I'm not Exxon. I'm not going to spill a bunch of oil
not
everywhere. I tell you, it's all green. If you like the planet, you'll love these movies. Not real fire either. That's an effect. That's an effect.
It's just seamless, George.
George, this is something we've debated in the past.
Yeah.
R2 does not fly at all in The Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
In Attack of the Clones, he flies only when it's convenient for
Yeah.
him, but not when everyone else is slowing down their pace so that they can,
Right.
Right.
keep up with him.
Yeah.
And in this one, he flies to burn some droids to death.
Yeah.
Is R2 capable of flying at any point in
Yeah,
time?
can you fly all the time?
You ever seen a bird walking around?
Rarely.
It's a great
And you
answer.
wonder why is that bird walking around? He could fly everywhere.
Yeah.
It's because people do what they want.
Do birds walk 90%?
Griffin, you're
of the
missing
time?
Count Dooku.
Okay,
He's showing
this is
up.
Count Dooku. This is
No,
the
but
entirety of the
it's a
Great
comparison. I'm not saying he's a bird. I'm just saying everyone's different.
Now, Count Dooku was the second line in your opening crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is his only moment.
Oh,
He flubbers
boy.
onto the ground.
Yep.
I was gonna make a joke and say that was he really did that, but of course he was a very old man.
He was like
didn't do that.
88. Yeah.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Now, you let Dooku get away at the end of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it's very important they get away at the end of episode 2 so we could have this scene.
This pivotal scene.
You
This
get
is-
90
I
seconds.
mean, they're all pivotal.
Every scene is pivotal.
Every scene is pivotal.
Do you think there's no fat on this movie? Do you watch this and you don't think there's anything you should have cut in hindsight 10 years out?
No, I should have added stuff, if anything.
Like elevator antics?
Well, you probably will eventually.
No, I can't. Disney owns them. I just got to
Oh,
live
right.
with the money.
I forgot about that deal.
How much money was that again?
$1 billion. Oh, that's a bad guy.
Yeah, Christopher Lee is really good. I don't know if it's
even
we're
just
in the
moving
pocket
around.
for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're so in the pocket for him.
he's just so classy. Yeah, now this is...
You kind of want him to win.
Yeah, and this is when the movie's cooking. He's the only character who seems alive on screen, in my opinion. You know?
Oh,
Griffin,
totally.
don't you want to ask?
Although
me,
that's
Don't I want
don't you want to ask me why Ben Kenobi doesn't fly everywhere since he just flew across the room?
Why doesn't Ben Kenobi fly everywhere? Because he could fly across the room.
No, I was making fun of you.
Okay, and I'm genuinely asking if
He
you
flew
could fly
across
all the
because
time, why wouldn't he do
Dooku
it?
threw him across the room just now. That's why.
So he wasn't flying.
see, he's killing this scene.
Yeah, no, this is a really good close-up.
Take note in the subtitles for this.
Every now and then I will merge two words together
In the subtitles, like, but you are 2 words. But in the subtitle there, it was but you, 1 word.
So you consciously, you had
Yeah.
a hand over the subtitles for
Yeah.
the entire film?
Now, George, this movie is incredibly violent.
Yeah, no, this is gross.
You always say this movie's for children. The man's
Ugh.
got his hands cut
good
off.
Anakin good, and the reason I put that line in there as
It's
part of
coming
it.
up. It's
Oh.
Palpatine's best line is coming up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go.
This is the.
Come on.
Do it.
Do it!
Ugh.
Gross. Decapitation. Head rolling.
Head rolling.
I regret cutting a line from that scene.
What was the line that you had in originally?
Well, someone talked me into cutting the line. Dooku's final line was, "But Misa Count Dooku,"
Oh my god.
and
Man, what I wouldn't give to add that. Because you see how it's a close up on his face. He looks right at the camera and goes, but Misa Count Dooku.
Now, George, why would he say that at that moment?
Just for fun. I thought it'd be a funny
Just
joke.
lighten the mood. It's a dark
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
he knows-
Sand people.
sometimes they call them Tusken Raiders because Sand People sounds offensive.
So,
But I stuck to my guns on that. I said, no, it's another universe. You can use the phrase Sand People. It's not offensive, even in this day and age.
oh, so this is a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He can
So,
say whatever
yeah,
he
yeah,
wants.
yeah.
I wish he'd said more things.
This
that
is
were
where
problematic.
he thinks they should just abandon Obi-Wan. He's got his leg caught on something.
More battles,
Look
more
at the
Star
Grievous.
Wars.
Grievous is so cool.
Now, you talk a lot about taking inspiration from old cinema, silent cinema, like sci-fi serials.
Yeah.
What were your inspirations for Grievous?
I went to a nursing home once to visit a sick relative. It scared the shit out of me. I thought, nothing's scarier than a dying old man. You realize your own mortality. So that what if we make the bad guy really look like sickly?
Just
I wanted people to
clean,
feel like
clear
at any,
action.
at any moment our heroes could
Catch whatever Grievous has.
So in your mind,
So what is it, like bronchitis?
Yeah, what do you
or
think
is it
Grievous
worse?
has?
Is it like
We don't know because
tuberculosis?
it's set in outer space.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a name for it that you would understand.
Also, he's a robot.
That doesn't matter. That's offensive.
yes, all
There's
droids.
this whole, yeah, you know, the ship's going this way so they can walk up it, I guess.
R2 slide. Why wouldn't he fly at that moment?
Yeah, he
If
should
he's
probably
in-
fly.
He's hurt. You ever see a bird get hurt? They don't fly. They lie on the ground.
So you
He was
droids are like
screaming.
birds.
He was screaming. Now he's sliding. He knows that's fast.
Oh.
Now, you originally were in talks with Academy Award nominee Gary Oldman, one of
Yeah.
the finest living actors to play the voice of Grievous, and
Yeah.
instead chose to hire Matthew Wood, your sound supervisor on the film.
Yeah, it was a close call.
It was did they both audition?
Yeah, I kept saying, Oldman, just do a little less. It needs to, and Oldman, I felt like, I mean, no disrespect, he's great. He was in my buddy Francis's movie Dracula, and I thought he was great in that.
Yeah.
Oops.
So you thought Oldman was doing too much?
Yeah, I said we got to go with Wood on this one.
Because I gotta say, Wood playing Grievous is giving maybe the most performance I've ever heard. You didn't think that was overkill?
And it's very Dracula-like.
Very
too.
Dracula-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want people to think it was Dracula. That was actually one thing I thought. They're going to think it's Dracula.
This is a great moment. Just a quiet moment. We've had a lot of loud. This is the first really quiet moment in the movie.
Flying then.
Stop talking. Stupid idiot.
I was worried people would think that he was saying Roy Shields, the man who did the music for the Little Rascals movies.
That was an actual concern of yours.
Yeah.
You thought that everyone watching this film, a film predominantly made for children,
Yeah.
would take it out of the film.
It's okay.
I was worried.
I'm sorry.
I was worried,
You were worried.
that
You were
they would
worried.
think we were going to cut to a decomposing future, because it would be the future.
I thought it was a long time ago, George.
Yeah, I
No,
know,
well,
but if they
Roy
activated
Shields
Roy
existed in the
Shields, that would have been
future.
a 20th century film composer.
Now, the destroyer droids have been in all three films.
Yeah.
But are used sparingly, whereas the main battle droids, who are made out of rice paper and walk like babies with dirty diapers,
Yeah.
are used top to bottom. Is there a reason the Galactic Republic isn't using...
I love all the
what's
use
the
of green.
cost
I love the
margin?
use of General Grievous. His
Yeah,
favorite
like
color
a-
is green.
Yeah, puke green everywhere.
Oh.
Is there a reason, though, within the reality of the film that the destroyer droids are used so sparingly when they seem to be a lot more advanced and effective?
They use a lot more energy.
So it's like a carbon concern.
No, it has to do with, like, we want to use them sparingly because we don't want to drain all the batteries. I've already mentioned batteries once in this film.
So you're saying within the reality of the movie, the
Yeah.
destroyer droids have to be charged?
Yeah, it's like when you're running a program on your computer or your phone and you know it drains the battery. So you're like, I only use it when I need to.
Great.
You don't think that
Are you
power...
happy with that
No,
explanation?
so the
Griffin?
destroyer droids are the Tinder of the Star Wars universe, is what you're saying.
I don't know what that is. I'm a married man.
So
Grievous
I love that
is
line
cleverly
reading.
put.
That's a great
Look at
line
this,
reading.
Inspector
And
Gadget.
this time, you won't escape.
they're so close to defeating him right here. We could have saved like 40 minutes of plot.
But I thought Grievous had them because he had put the lightsabers in his pocket in a jacket that he's
He's got
wearing.
cape pockets.
Yeah,
you know
he's
those
got
famous
pockets.
cape pockets
Yeah.
that everyone has?
So secure. How much of this is real, George?
It's all digital.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but I think there was a shot earlier of Palpatine saying, come now, and he's kind of bending over and wincing. I think someone made like a sex gif of that online.
You think someone made a sex joke with that?
Yeah, people do sexy Star Wars gifs. So if you look to that point in the movie, that's where someone, I think, did make a gif, or if they haven't, they probably will.
Well, I mean, you know, George, on that subject, we have a checkered history in the past of this podcast. There are a few things
Did you
I
see
do.
the way he jumped? You see the way Grievous jumped there?
No,
And
how
then,
did he
and
jump?
then Anakin jumps the same way.
That's a kind of a predictive move. You see, like, he's already jumping like the bad guy.
So you're foreshadowing that he's going to
Foreshadowing.
become
A different
bad
bad guy.
Because all bad guys jump the same. Do you think Osama
That's
bin
right.
Laden and Hitler jumped the same way?
Probably. I don't know. I never met them. But I know in the Star Wars universe, bad guys jump the same way.
So,
George, you mentioned sex gifts
Yeah.
and sex memes.
Yeah.
We have a checkered past on this
Look at the way,
podcast.
I love the way that
Griffin's setting up a bit, I think.
You
Connor.
love this movie so much.
It's great. So far, every second's better than the last one.
Do you think it's
So that's
Oh,
your-
look at that. Did you see the way he wiggles the handwork on him? Those aren't real. That's all, I made this.
So how hands-on are you in giving notes to the animators?
Like, are you the hand model for that scene?
I'll say have him wiggle his hands.
Are you acting out though and telling them to
Yeah,
copy
they do it
what
like
you're
this.
doing?
Move your hands like that. He's a bad guy.
How you doing, Ben?
Oh man.
Ben, what's your favorite part so far, Ben?
The oil stuff.
Great. We talked about that earlier.
Don't say
Did
that.
you think it was real oil?
No, of course not.
Good, I'm
None of
glad.
this is real.
Yeah, but it's amazing because it looks real.
Have you seen things in your real life that look like this, George?
No, because I don't live in a space adventure.
Do you wish you lived in a space adventure?
I'm glad I haven't seen anything like this. I don't want to be in a volcano. Yeah, I've seen stuff like this on the news. It's horrible.
Griffin, you were trying to set up a bit.
I was trying to set up a bit.
What are you setting up? Sex memes? Star Wars sex
Sex
gifs?
memes. I have in the past, we've done 10 episodes for each of these prequel films, these Phantom Menace trilogy films. And when we're sort of running dry of things to talk about, I often sink to talking about fan fiction.
Right.
Yes.
And the fan fiction often happens to be erotic in nature. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're familiar with this, but a lot
I
of
am.
people
It's
write...
yeah, I don't like it.
You
no,
don't
really?
like it.
It's people drawing inspiration from your work.
I know, but I've never liked it. My employees traditionally have known not to bring up stuff like that to me. I don't think it's funny or fun.
And they can't say your least favorite word to you.
No.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
You don't like the word no.
You
I don't like
the
it.
word no.
That's
No.
why I use it in this, because this is the darkest movie
Right.
probably anyone's ever going to make.
You think this is the darkest?
Yeah.
He just said it, Griff.
Okay.
Name a darker one.
Schindler's List.
Okay, but he's my friend. Of course Steve's going to make
Oh, you're
one
right.
that
It
matches
wasn't dark because it was your friend who
No,
made
but
it.
it's not fair to bring up my friend's movie. We both make good movies. Of course Steve made that. This is my Schindler's List.
You're a remarkable man, George.
A lot of people die in this movie,
Yeah.
and they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Right,
there's-
so-
Tell me that's not... unless-
Griffin, this is Coruscant.
Don't belittle the deaths in this movie just because they're fake.
This is Coruscant. The whole
planet.
planet's a city.
We still haven't
Planet's
gotten to
city.
the bottom of this. How
No.
does this planet work?
It's a city planet.
Yeah, but like, what's the infrastructure? Like, I don't
The
get
whole
it.
planet's made of city.
But does that
Yeah.
whole
It's
planet
like the Tin
technically
Man in
count-
The Wizard of Oz. He started off as a woodsman, and then he was cursed by the Wicked Witch, I believe, of the East, because he was in love with... this is going off topic a little bit.
Yeah.
But in,
Yeah,
the,
it
in the
is,
original Baum books for Wizard of Oz, the Tin Woodsman was just a regular woodsman. He fell in
Yeah.
love with a Munchkin girl who worked for the Wicked Witch of the East. She put a curse on him that made him chop his arm off. He went to a tinsmith, replaced the arm with a tin arm.
So it's sort
He
of
chopped
piece by
off
piece.
by piece until he was eventually all tin. That's why he needed a heart, because he was all tin. That's the way Coruscant was as a planet. Started off
Was
as a planet.
once a wood planet?
No, it was once just a regular planet. Dave, please don't. This is a serious topic. I respect your question, giving you an answer. This isn't goofing around. We're watching episode 3 here.
It's true.
But eventually, it became all city, and none of the original planet was left. It had all been,
Citified.
citified.
Pillars. Guys,
Oh.
it's the pillars.
Oh, great.
George, in your mind, this is your favorite part of the film, David, is the pillars.
The pillars.
I also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that woman
How
over...
many pillars?
If I'm not mistaken, George, is the woman over the shoulder of Palpatine not one of your daughters?
Your daughter.
That's
Yeah.
one of your daughters, I believe.
I love
right?
her.
You love her?
Yeah. And that was based on Weird Al Yankovic in his Fat video. That other alien's kind of a little
What's
tip
his
of the
name
hat.
again?
Orange Free Tom?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little
I
tip
can't
of the
believe
hat.
we know that.
I know everything.
Hey, 3PO.
So many pillars. There's Smiths.
Yeah.
There's our main man.
Hey, we'll
in
give it
here.
up for Smiths. Jimmy
C-3PO.
Smiths.
Let's
people.
get a little
Well,
round
that's
of
why I
applause.
did. I rolled out the red carpet for him. That's a little nod to how much we like Jimmy Smits.
You rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah, it's like,
There
oh,
he is.
he'll like this.
George, you said you never found the fan fiction funny, but did you find it sexy? I mean, that was the intended
He's got
purpose.
something on his phone, people.
I don't know if I have anything.
Let me just say this, and I'm proud
Oh,
of this.
God.
In every
I don't
Star
know.
Wars movie I've ever made, C-3PO has 2 golden arms. And that's the way it should be.
Now, this is the first romantically charged moment in the film. One
Here
could
we
argue.
are. They're
this-
neck kissing.
Wow.
I promised David that I wouldn't read any fan fiction tonight. That was a
Great.
promise I made for the sake of the podcast.
I don't remember you making that promise, but
I
thank
made
you.
that promise to you off mic.
Oh. Well, this is a moment for it, because this is so hot. This scene is just really sexy stuff.
And that's why it's good that I created an out, because I didn't promise that someone else wouldn't
He's
read
talking
fan
about
fiction.
outer rim edges there.
Can we get Rachel Lang to the stage? Past guest of the podcast, Rachel Lang. The only person
Are we
who
pausing?
actually...
Are we pausing the movie?
No,
for
no,
this?
we're going straight through.
No. You kidding me? There's 2.5 hours of this.
We got to pause the movie. This is the sexiest part.
No, it gets sexier.
You talked about the outer rim edges, Dave.
You're
You understand what
trembling.
I mean?
She's trembling.
She's trembling. Of
Or
course
he's
she is.
trembling.
She's
Someone's
trembling.
trembling. Hey, Rachel.
You guys, I just want you to know that producer Ben just told me I'll feed it to you out there about this mic, so
It's getting in the mood.
setting it up.
Well, welcome.
And now I'm stuck, so I'll just stand right here.
So season 1, I read some Obi-Wan Qui-Gon fan fiction in which Obi-Wan performed fellatio on Qui-Gon Jinn through a
You're
glory hole.
so lucky I don't own Star Wars anymore. I would have sued you back to the long time ago.
Didn't write it, just read it. Season 2, I read some Padme Anakin stuff.
Yep.
So I felt that well had sort of been tapped dry. So I tried to find something different. I found a short story that Rachel's going to read called Love Knows No Circuits. And I will be dramatically playing the role of C-3PO.
I do have a question. Are you going to be playing the role of R2 as well? Because there are some
I will,
R2 lines.
yes,
All right,
yes.
great.
Okay.
Great. And one more question. Do you want to read the commentary at the beginning?
I will. Love Knows No Circuits by Sapadu.
How long are you going to do this for, Griffin?
5 hours. This was a challenge fic that I issued to Amy's, the elvish lady. It sort of ... backfired on me though ... nervous laugh.
You wrote that out?
Yep, challenge write a yaoi
Feel
fic
free to nervously laugh, people.
with R2-D2 and C-3PO as a couple. R2, I don't care what you say. I'm not cooking. We don't need food anyway, and Master Luke says he's perfectly fine making his own meals for himself.
3PO squawked in indignation. R2 made a low, whining sound, which made 3PO jump.
What in heaven's name do you mean a romantic night for the two of us?
He snorted, turning on his metallic heels and starting to wobble away when R2 rolled up alongside 3PO, effectively blocking him from going any further. The astromech droid knew very well... Pardon? The astromech droid knew very well that 3PO was just trying to play hard to get, and R2 wasn't going to stand for it. ... Even if he didn't really stand.
That's a joke, George.
I'm sorry, I was watching the movie. I faded
George,
out for a second.
George, you pay
Did you
attention to
intend
this.
3PO and R2 to be romantically involved? Is that a sort of
No, they're
for these
friends.
movies? They're friends. They're just buddies.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, it's not normal for droids to have feelings at all. For their masters, perhaps, certainly not for each other. For another, I'm programmed for protocol etiquette. It simply isn't proper for such behaviors. Why, in human beings, it's practically considered a mental disease.
3PO humped to R2's protests. The golden droid did almost trip when R2 brought up the subject of their master's mate.
But that is an entirely different subject. Master Anakin has very good sense of these matters, and it's not our place to question.
3PO replied curtly, ignoring the 10-year age difference between the two humans in question.
How long is this, Griffin?
5 pages.
R2 accused his counterpart with a series of clicks and beeps. If 3PO could have, he would have blushed.
I'm going to do the beep on this one. Can you read the translation, Rachel?
I like it better the other way, but okay. I must admit, you looked rather good. R2 added. 3PO rounded on R2 in a mock rage.
Oh, stop it, you clanging, spluttering bucket of bolts.
3PO demanded, slamming one of his metal arms down on R2's domed top, to which R2 accused 3PO.
Wife beater.
And with that, the silver and blue astromech droid spun and rolled away, knowing full well that 3PO would follow him.
Now, R2, don't be like that. Come back. I didn't mean it.
3PO protested,
Nope.
chasing after his counterpart, his arms
the dream
flailing.
sequence.
You know I love you.
R2 spun
Take
around
place.
to face 3PO again.
This is a pretty sexy moment,
Kiss?
George.
R2 asked. 3PO started to sputter again.
Well, quite technically, that is anatomically impossible with us.
3PO defended himself. R2 snorted.
Boo-boo.
Kiss? He insisted. 3PO sighed and bent over at his waist, scraping the part of his mechanical humanoid face that would have been a mouth over the spot on R2's dome that he had smacked. Such was their version of a kiss. Around the corner of the doorway, Anakin Skywalker and his lover were spying on the two droids, the younger of the two obviously finding the whole affair hilarious beyond all reason, and on the floor, laughing. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
I think it was a typo.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I never would have believed it. Anakin Skywalker muttered.
Anakin Skywalker muttered. Two gray eyes smiled up at him from the floor.
Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
His lover said, still grinning. Anakin grinned back.
Indeed you did. Kiss? Mission, mind-blowing success. Yes, this did get written in 5 minutes. Yes, I was up until my alarm clock read midnight. Yes, I am insane. That is how they end the story that they wrote. Thank you, Rachel Lang.
Thank you, Rachel. Sorry about that.
We got the fan fiction over with. I didn't read anything graphic.
Yeah, that was actually very chaste.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were just kissing.
I've learned lessons. I don't want to be a dirty boy my whole life. I want to grow up.
This is a pretty dirty sequence.
While you were talking about it, you missed one of the sexiest canon shots in the whole Star Wars saga.
Anakin's bare chest.
Anakin wakes up from a nightmare, which was very well directed.
Very Lynchian.
upsetting.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I would have let him do in Return of the Jedi. You don't know about. You guys don't know.
David Lynch.
David Lynch was going to direct that, but he didn't want to.
Did he explain why he didn't want to?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't tell me. He's a good guy.
So you directed the episode 4.
Yeah.
And then 5 and 6 you did not direct?
Well, I basically directed Return of the Jedi because Richard Marquand got very sick. He basically turned in an assembly edit, and I finished it while he died.
You're a cold man, George.
What? I'm just supposed to leave it unfinished? It's what happened.
So chronologically, you made those films first. We've now come to understand.
Right. Yeah.
And then...
And I released them a year before, or 2 years before episode
Phantom
1
Menace,
came out.
Yes. And then Phantom Menace you directed, Attack the Clones you directed, Revenge of the Sith you directed.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I can't choose. It's a 4-way tie. Second place goes to Return of the Jedi. Distant third goes to Empire Strikes Back. You guys are...
It's the ones you didn't direct. I get it. But my question is...
No, but Return of the Jedi is really great.
Well, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I will believe it when I see
Look at yourself, you, someone, you. The way that's because that's Yoda. That's how Yoda speaks.
George, was there a reason you stepped away from directing episodes 5 and 6 but came back for the prequels? What made you leave and what made you come back? I want to ask.
Ultimately, I was in charge of the final cuts of all of the movies. But the problem was I was trying to get independence so I could make these movies the way The reason the prequels are flawless is because they're independent movies. They're independently financed. I had final cut on them. I had a lot of people telling me no on episode 4. And then I kind of
Your least favorite word, we've established.
Yeah, I don't like that word. When it was time to make the second one that I made, episode 5, I kind of had to. I took my eye off the ball a little bit,
and they did some goofy things that I'm not proud of.
Fillers.
Goofier than Jar Jar? What
Just-
kind of goofiness?
They did improv stuff in it that they added jokes in that I didn't like. I don't want to spoil it because you guys
let's
haven't
not
seen
talk
it
about
yet.
Let's not
movies.
talk
Come
about
on,
it.
Griffin.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we're talking about this movie.
I mean, basically, I'm not perfect. I mean, the best you can say about me is I made 5.5 perfect Star Wars movies, and I think that's a pretty good track record. This scene's great.
Just electric. So, do you like your Jedis to always just have arms crossed, looking at the floor, not even looking at each other, really?
Standard pose.
Yeah, I love it.
Shot, reverse shot.
Yeah.
I will say the visual language of these movies is very consistent.
Lee bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as my rest in peace Michael Jackson that I helped make Captain EO, he used to say the word bad and he meant good or cool.
So when people in these movies say I have a bad feeling about this, they're really saying I have a cool feeling about this?
Yeah, sometimes. Certainly, that's the meta. That's sort of like the inside joke of that joke. It's like, I have a bad feeling about this, but also this being the most successful joke in the history of humor, I have a cool feeling about how often and successful this joke will be.
So that's the characters mean bad in the traditional sense.
They mean bad in the traditional sense.
And you, as the writer, mean
This
cool,
is a long
like,
time before Michael Jackson did that to that word.
What's a long time ago? Yeah.
A long time ago. And it was also so far away.
Galaxy far, far away.
I just want to point out, this movie just grinds to a halt. It just literally, it's just people in rooms talking to each other for an hour.
Look, he's appointing him to be his personal representative on
I
the
know,
Jedi
there's a lot of
Council.
parliamentary business to attend to.
Well, how are we got to set... Right now, we're putting the pieces in place.
You've had 3 movies to put the pieces in
that's more
place.
the other
Yeah,
two
I know, but
movies
this
do
opened
it.
with a giant kick-ass battle, and now we gotta take a pause, and now it's what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next for an hour?
This is the Jedi Temple, right?
This is the
Look,
Jedi Temple.
those pillars represent the 5 great Star Wars movies.
Now, George, this is a question I've always had. I've been
Sure.
trying to figure this out throughout
Yeah.
all the films. What relationship does the Jedi Council and the Jedis at large have to the galaxy around them? Are they sort of like the Vatican? Like that they're their own independent state? They work in conjunction with other people, but they don't answer to anybody? Or is there someone they report to?
They have a higher midichlorian count than anybody else.
I know what they are.
Yeah.
I'm asking...
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Sure.
Are the guys who are holograms, are they sitting in corresponding chairs elsewhere? Do they have to sit in a chair to
Sure.
talk to everyone else?
Yeah,
Are there that many empty chairs around
Yeah.
them?
Are they sitting in an identical room with like 12 holograms?
You ever use Skype? I basically invented it here.
You're saying you predicted Skype with this
This is
scene.
Skype. They're Skyping.
You don't have to sit in a special chair for Skype.
When I'm
No.
Skyping with my mom, I don't build a replica of her bedroom.
Well, that's your choice. It sounds like you have some sort of issues there.
Okay.
The Wookiees come up for the first time in this series. And Yoda just springs into action.
Oh, Yoda's never looked better.
Do you think Yoda's a good-looking guy?
No, I just mean it digitally.
We had to use a puppet in the first movies we made.
I'm excited to see that.
Well, don't get your hopes up because this looks perfect. So,
I can make a better Jedi.
Now, you've created 2 Jedis of your own.
No, 3, I think.
One was a bad guy. He created one Sith, Darth Stupid
yeah.
Idiot.
What's
Our
this?
stupid idiot. Yeah.
That's a great name for a
Isn't
Jedi.
that a good name?
Yeah.
And he's a jerk, and he's always wet.
you know, I invented a couple of
Sith characters that had cool names. Darth Icky.
Oh, I like that.
You remember Darth Icky?
No, when was Darth Icky in these movies?
No, it was for the video game. LucasArts was making a video game, and I pitched a couple. They said, "Hey, George is here. Why don't you name a couple?" This is 100% serious.
Great. Like everything you say.
I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Was Darth Icky?
Does anyone remember who the other one was? Darth Insanius.
And Darth Icky.
Thank you, John Henry.
Is that John?
And
That's
they didn't
John
end up.
Henry.
They
Yeah,
did,
round of applause for John Henry.
I think they didn't end up using them because they were too cool or bad.
Uh-huh.
They thought it would overwhelm the game.
Well, can Ben pitch you? He had 2 Jedi characters created as well. I want to see from the master himself. How
I feel pretty good about him.
All right.
So it was Bat Kipso, I think was his
I
name.
think his name was Bat Pecky.
Bat
Thank
Pecky,
you.
that
Thank
was
you.
it.
I don't
That's fun.
remember.
That's fun. Okay, sure.
But he's from a cave planet,
Okay.
and
No
he's-
such thing, but go ahead.
Well, not
No,
yet.
I mean, yeah, but we could invent it. We could make it.
This is
could.
expanded universe.
I wish I was
And,
still. I would make these happen if I was still in charge of it. But talk
he's
to
a,
Disney.
He's a Batman.
Yeah, he's a shameless Batman ripoff, right?
Sure.
Oh, I
We call that an homage.
yeah.
That's an homage.
I didn't really think
His
of
parents
that.
were murdered, and that caused him to turn
That's
to the
true.
light
He
of the
is an
Jedis.
orphan too, but
Yeah.
I didn't
That's fine.
realize
I don't have
the
a problem
connection
with
there.
that.
No, I like the other one better.
Alagashu.
Alagashu.
That's our good guy.
He's
yeah.
a big Jedi.
Oh, that's great.
You know, because they're always small.
Ben
Like,
thinks
they
your
need to be
Jedis are
bigger.
too small.
Yeah, get a big Jedi.
So you don't set a bar for how small they can get.
Yeah.
Because like Yoda's tiny, but none of them are above average human size.
It's like a snooze fest. Come on, make
They're-
it big.
they're-
How big we talking?
Sure.
Really big.
Well, I mean, I probably would have had some bigger Jedis if they'd let me make episode 7, but they really weren't interested.
Now, episode 7, you said, is being directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
Who also created Felicity.
Felicity.
Right, which is on the shirt that you're wearing right now.
Right, I'm wearing this just as a sign of support. I wish him the best.
Every time you invoke episode 7, it seems, I might be overreading it, but it seems like there's a bit of resentment in your tone that you weren't allowed to make the film.
Well, I told them what to do and they ignored it. So I
Don't blame me when you see the new movie. Because I pitched them an idea which was have less of Han Solo,
Don't know what you're
Just
talking about. We haven't met these
cameos.
characters. Yeah, we haven't met
cameos,
them.
and it'd mostly just be about new characters that I had created. Thought it'd be really cool, but then Disney went their own way, and they may pay a heavy price in a little less than a month.
So are you a fan of J.J. Abrams or not?
Sure, I think JJ's a good kid.
Because right now you're essentially wearing the T-shirt of it's like if you wore the T-shirt of the person who's fucking your ex-girlfriend, is what you're wearing right now.
No, I mean I wouldn't wear the shirt of the man who designed the stained glass window at the entranceway to Skywalker Ranch.
What is this? What are you?
That's the person that Marsha Lucas, my first wife, took up with after we split, and I never took that stained glass down. So in a way, it does make sense I would wear this shirt. Read a book about me.
You had Your wife left you for the man
It
installing...
didn't last.
Well, yeah, she
She's
left you.
Sure.
No, she, even
then
the
no,
stained glass
Her
guy.
relationship with that handyman, whatever, craftsman, whatever you want to call him.
Artist.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I mean, it looks fine. It's fine.
Do you still have it standing in your office?
No, it's at the entrance. It's the foyer.
So every day when you walk into work, you walk through the foyer that was made by the man who took your love away from you.
Yeah. Poured a lot of that pain into this movie.
Do you not trust love, George?
When love's dangerous. Look at this.
It's
They're happy
true.
right now, but
They don't look happy.
you know that she's rubbing his chest. How's that not happy? They're content. Noir. Every lack of a space in the subtitles I wrote. Oh, of course, it's just beautiful. Look at that. Can you imagine if they had what it looks like on Life Day? Leading up to Life Day when they get to put all the
What's
decorations
Life
up? It's like Christmas and Hanukkah.
Put together.
Now, I believe this is your cameo coming up. Is
Yeah,
it not
wait.
right there in the corner, in the lower
There he
left-hand
is.
corner?
See him in the
boy.
black.
Georgie Porgie Lucas with as Baron Papanoida with his daughter.
Doing great.
Can you tell us a little about your preparation work to get into the character of Baron Papanoida?
I watched what I did in Beverly Hills Cop 3, and I'm like, I just got to match that.
Now, not to crib from James Lipton
Sure.
on Inside the Actors Studio.
All
but
right.
Would it be possible to talk to Baron Papanoida here
Sure.
today?
Yeah.
Do you need time to get into the
Nope.
character? Hi, Baron Papanoida.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Can you tell me a little about yourself, what you do for a living?
Well, right now I'm just waiting outside. I'm getting ready to go into the Jedi Council.
That's an opera. It's the
Galactic
opera,
Center,
yes.
The opera here.
Are you a patron of the arts, Baron?
Yep.
Is that a hereditary title, or were you elected?
Both.
This opera's pretty cool.
both.
Hey, this is your favorite scene.
This is my
supposedly.
favorite scene.
Or
What's
your
this op-
second favorite scene.
This is my second favorite moment. Now, does all performance in...
These were based on the things you used to buy at the Sharper Image.
Is this what all performance looks like in the Star
Yeah, it's
Wars
just
universe?
big bubbles.
Do actors ever appear on stage, or is it all bubbles designed by other people?
No, this is a very specific kind of.
Why do their armrests have glowing red lights? That feels weird for an opera. It might be distracting.
So they can warm their hands before and after they
Those
applaud.
are, yeah. They can warm their hands for applause. They're also for safety.
I guess, George, my question is, if I were to go to a stand-up club in
Sure.
Coruscant, would we see like 4 big bubbles making observations on like race and gender dynamics
Maybe.
and airplane food?
Yeah, you might. It depends.
Spaceplane food.
Spaceman food.
Space racial dynamics.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, they're probably. Yeah, you go into comedy places and there'd be bubbles on stage performing,
Uh-huh.
and then there's probably like controversy because they're probably like creatures that aren't bubbles. We're like,
So you just hoping
only
one
bubbles
day,
in this club.
Like movies will just be bubbles one day? Is that your hope?
No, this took place in the past. None of this is going to happen in the future.
Fair enough.
You harp a lot about these things being cyclical, the ring theory, that all these things.
Oh, that's
come
not my theory. That's just a cool thing that you can look up online. I mean, if I did it, great. But I just try to make great movies. I don't have a. It's not.
Now this is arguably the scene of the movie.
Yeah, this is the turn.
Arguably,
This,
sure.
yeah, this is the turn.
Yeah.
The implication here that you kind of allude to, but you don't
Yeah.
directly acknowledge,
Right.
is that Palpatine is Anakin's father. Because Anakin was an
Certainly.
immaculate conception.
Certainly, yeah, father figure, yeah.
No, but he also says here that along with Darth
create
Plagueis,
life
who
using
was
the
his
Force.
mentor, they
Yeah.
learned how to create life purely out of the Force.
Yeah.
In Phantom Menace, Shmi says that there was no father,
Yeah.
it was an immaculate conception, and his midichlorian rating was off the charts.
Yeah.
Does that not seem like you're laying out the breadcrumbs to have us believe that Palpatine made Anakin out of space magic?
The subtitles are just
I don't wanna
presenting something right now.
I don't want to. Yeah,
That's great.
I don't want to answer that question because part of the mystery of the movie is, it's sort of one of those things where you leave a little bit to the audience's imagination because it's more intriguing. There's basically he either made him out of space magic,
Okay.
or what if maybe he snuck into her house when she was asleep.
Oh, come on now.
George, come on.
Come on, this is a family movie.
He's bad. He's a bad man.
But
I'm
both-
saying it's possible.
He's saying it right now. Create life.
Yeah, and you think he's not capable of taking a woman who's asleep without her consent.
Why are you
This is
doing
terrible.
this?
Yeah,
He's the most evil.
cut this out.
He's
This
the
is
most
gone.
evil
gone
character
weird.
in the universe. I'm sorry.
George, no, stop, please.
I'm sorry, but that's one possibility. I want to leave all the possibilities on the table. But obviously, I don't want to be overt and say this because these are children's films.
But in both of the awful scenarios that you just presented to us,
Yeah.
Palpatine is the father.
Yeah. Or maybe he's not. Maybe it's just space magic and it happened. That's.
Is
I don't
space
wanna-
magic like strange magic?
No.
No, okay.
They're different.
Sorry.
Space magic is for boys. Strange magic is for girls.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Very binary. Thank you.
What do you
What-
think of McDermott in this scene?
I think this is a great piece of acting. I really do.
I think
I
it's
also-
a good piece of acting.
I think it's great.
I do want to give
Obviously, there's Gulf War parallels, and there's George W. Bush parallels in this movie.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to draw too much attention to those. There is also, I think, a little bit of a tip of the hat if you've seen the movie Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
The plot of this movie is essentially a version of when John Voight's character, who, if you've seen Midnight Cowboy,
there's a scene where he needs money and he goes into a movie theater and
has a sexual encounter
Bob
for money
Balaban.
with a young Bob Balaban.
Yeah.
And then when he's done, and John Voight is not gay, so this is an instance where for money he does this, and
Gay
then
for pay,
afterwards,
sure.
he says, "Can I have my money?" And the teenage Bob Balaban breaks down crying, says, "I don't have any money." So John Voight did this sexual act in a movie theater for nothing.
Okay.
Kind of like what Palpatine does to Anakin in this, which he says, you got to give into your anger and your dark
Sure,
side or
join
else
the
your
dark
wife's going to
side.
die. So he gives into his anger and the dark side, and the wife dies anyway. And he's like, he feels the same. Sorry for spoiling the movie, but...
So you're saying
Ben,
the entire plot of this film is an homage to that 1 2-minute scene in Midnight
Yeah.
Cowboy?
yeah, that's one way to look at it. Again, I don't want to spoil the movie, but that's one interpretation of
He's
the
sitting
film.
in a chair, Ben. Was that what you were noticing?
No, well, I mean, yeah, they all poop in those chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they have poop chairs.
no, the Chewbacca character.
Oh, he's here.
just
Yeah,
appeared.
Chewbacca.
He's
Who
big.
is this guy?
He's big.
Who is this guy? Tell us
He
about
is a big
Chewbacca.
guy.
He is big.
He meets that criteria.
I like that about
Big.
him. Hairy too. Why not?
Yeah, it's big and hairy. He's a Wookiee.
But like, there's so much like time dealt with
Yeah.
talking about Chewbacca. He doesn't even do anything.
Now, you told us that Chewbacca comes back in
That's
4,
right,
5,
he's a
and
big
6.
character. He's Han Solo's furry friend.
We don't know who Han Solo is. You have to
yeah,
talk
right.
to
See,
us.
this guy's way bigger, though.
Tarful seems like a cooler
Look at
guy
him,
than
he's
Chewbacca.
huge.
So right now,
boy.
if I were on
See,
set, would I
power
just see
generators. That's the issue I was talking about earlier.
Power.
They're main power generators. Things work on energy, and that's why the destroyer droids, they don't use them as much because they
And
use
it
up-
works on 2 levels because Palpatine's also
Look at
obsessed
those
with
Wookiees.
power.
Oh,
This sequence is
They're
bizarre.
See, everyone's compelled by this.
Yeah.
And you see like those houses are this identical to in the Star Wars Holiday Special when you visit Chewbacca on the Wookiee home planet. You look at those in the back. That's just like his Chewbacca's house.
No,
There's
tell
a
me
Tarzan
about,
yell there,
What
yeah.
was your choice to use a Tarzan roar in that moment?
These are fun adventure films. We like to do a little. I did a reference to Wayne's World in
weird
episode
shot.
1. I did a reference to Tarzan in this.
What was your Wayne's World reference in episode 1?
I had Jar Jar say, "Squeeze me."
Oh, great. There's a segment I do on the show. I try to do every episode, the merchandise spotlight. And there's something
God.
we've been building up to since the very beginning. There's one piece of merchandise I've been obsessed with from the very beginning, which is the Comtech chips.
Oh my God,
That came out
Chips
for
got a cheer.
the Phantom Menace that allowed toys to talk. I have spent over $100 in the last 7 months.
$100?
Yeah, probably, yeah, collecting Comtech chips. So this bag is just duplicates. Because I had to complete a set, but I finally have a complete set now, and I also bought a Comtech reader. Now this was, thank
great.
you.
Oh, wow, look at it. So
Thanks for
small.
the money.
may the force be with you. May the force be with you. Great line.
Just the mirroring, you like that.
Ring theory.
Now this was supposed to change the game, much in the way that you reinvented the technology to make films, right?
Yeah, I reinvented film soundtracks. I reinvented special effects. I reinvented a lot of stuff.
The idea was that the toys were too small so that you couldn't put voice chips inside them. So they literally had physical chips that came next to them. And you'd have to use this to make sounds. This is a little game I want to play.
Sure.
To show off what the sound quality was. This was the big selling point.
Yeah.
Now toys talk. That was a big selling point. I want to show off the level of audio recording quality on these.
Great.
I'm going to play a clip. You have to identify what character it is, okay?
All right.
This is not going to work at all.
No one's going to hear that.
Now, you're
I
putting
heard
that
it.
into the microphone that's going into the recording, but not amplified. Is that?
Yeah.
I,
Do that. Okay,
okay, I
ready?
couldn't hear it. But now I can hear it.
Oh, I had a couple of...
Okay. All right.
Worth it. Worth
That
it.
was
what
absolutely
character?
worth it.
Worth it.
That
what
was
character?
worth $100.
Is that Palpatine?
Yes, correct. Okay, ready?
Look, dream sequence. I'm not going to miss the second dream sequence in a row. Look at this. Real quick, bring the sound back. Oh, we missed it.
Thank you, Griffin.
Now he's looking at his iPad or
No wonder
Game
you
Boy.
hate these movies.
Come on, do it again. Do it
Ready?
again.
Name
That was
this-
fun.
Name this
Yeah.
character.
Oh, that's Darth Maul.
Correct.
But he's just getting
So
the lines,
far-
though.
so
These all
far-
sound the same.
Okay, ready?
Wait, that's a Gungan, right? That's a Gungan.
Each chip has 3 lines. Ready?
All right. Is that Jar Jar?
No, it's Pod Racer Odie Mandrell.
Odie Mandrell. Okay, I knew it was somewhere in that part of the movie.
He has 0 lines in the film, I believe.
Oh, those are exclusive to the toy. Oh, I didn't write those then.
You didn't write them. These are
Yeah.
expanded universe? Okay.
Yeah, and no longer canon thanks to Disney.
My troops are in position to begin searching the swamps. They will not stay hidden for long.
They all just sound like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, that sounded like
Yes, they do.
that was from the movie that came out last year.
A Theory of Everything?
That's from the Theory of Everything. I think you've been
is
ripped
that?
off. I think they're.
What?
I think someone did you buy those on eBay? Someone mistakenly sold you some of the merchandise toys from Theory of Everything.
I'm Queen Amidala.
That's a
That's
gimme.
Padme. That's Padme.
That's yeah.
So you don't even plug it in. You just sort of brush it against the Comtech reader.
I
That's
think-
how it works.
But you hold the toy up so it looks like the toy's talking.
You have to hold the toy up at the
So you
same
need,
time.
You need 3 hands to operate this.
This
thing,
is a
basically.
This is a 3-hand operation. You need
You
a buddy.
a chip. You need the reader, and you need the toy.
Yeah. Use your foot. Yeah, that's a classic line. Hilarious. Oh.
Prepare to die, Jedi.
Oh yeah. Palpatine.
Nope, that was Darth Maul.
There's
Darth
Darth
Maul?
Maul. Darth Maul also only has 1 line in the film, right?
Yeah, I think he's quoting Palpatine.
I now have.
Palpatine.
I now own 5 different Darth Maul Comtech
Griffin,
chips.
this is
each
the
of which
part
has 3 lines.
where he-
Oh, Booga!
Yeah.
This is my favorite character.
Thank you.
This is the part where Obi-Wan says, "Is there anything going on here?" He says, "No, not at all." And then 1 second later, he says, "Everything's going on here."
So you don't think this looks great, George, having an
There's a
actual
real guy.
human being wearing clothes with stuff on his face, fake teeth?
There's a lot of digital stuff going on that's making that work, though.
Don't
You
you
know?
think?
Like
I
these
mean,
little guys in the background here.
But doesn't Ewan McGregor look more engaged that he actually has someone to play off of?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I like the digital feeling. Like, look at that. Oh. I think the practical stuff only works if it's polished up with a little bit of digital magic. Oh. Now we're cooking. Here we go.
There's a little decoy action from Obi-Wan there.
Yeah. I like this jungle, like,
Jungle music.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
Booga!
Oh, fun stuff.
See, this is fun, George.
I
You
know,
what I'm
thank
saying?
you. Yeah, you
This is
complained
Griffin's
earlier,
favorite
but
part of
This
the
is my
movie.
favorite part. Look at her. She's so much fun.
It's a feathered iguana.
And she loves life. Look at how happy she is.
Yeah, she has a great life.
She's made a new friend.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh my God! Past guest Morgan Evans.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Storming the stage. What's going on, Morgan?
you're-
Well, first of all, huge honor to meet you.
Hey,
Big
great.
fan of
Hey,
Star Tours.
Morgan, I'm going to congratulate
okay.
you. I believe you recently won a digital award. right?
Yeah, it's some sort of digital
You
award.
won a digital advertising or digital?
Some digital,
yeah.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, work
Thanks so
travels
much.
fast. We'll both win awards.
Big fan of Captain EO. Big fan of all that you've done for
Thank you,
Tomorrowland.
Morgan.
So you're taking credit, George, for the fact that Morgan won an award for making web series?
Well, no, he won a digital award, and I'm a pioneer of digital technology.
true.
So in
This
a way,
is all true.
I don't think he would have.
Okay.
I don't think those
So you
awards
just
would
think
even exist.
you
if
and
I,
digital, that's just
Yeah.
synonymous.
digital is me. Yeah.
I have no beef with George Lucas.
That's great.
Thank you.
I also hardly any beef with you, David.
Oh, good.
Most of my beef lies with this man.
What beef do you have with me?
You don't remember?
No.
I created this podcast.
You created Griffin and David Present?
Wait,
Yeah,
really?
we were golfing.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah, of course.
And I said someone should do a podcast about movies.
Right.
And you said that's a great idea.
Right.
And I said you and I should do a podcast about movies. And then you took a Molly.
You were
and
really
then
golfing?
3 weeks later,
I was on Molly.
this shit came out. Yeah. You remember this? I didn't bring it up on the show because I didn't want to, I needed it for my career to get these digital things.
Right.
And then so I'm
made the
sitting
right-
at your podcast looking at you, expecting the whole time I'm on your goddamn show that you'd acknowledge the fact that I created all this.
You didn't create all of it. That
Yes,
was a
I
different
did.
Show. That
I
was...
said a show about movies. People
These are
should talk.
movies.
Yeah.
Griffin, these are movies.
Yeah, but we were talking about doing Griffin and Morgan Presents. It's an entirely
No, I'm talking
different
about
show.
people talking about
no idea
movies.
what's going
Up
on.
until now, people have just been watching movies. I said people should talk about movies.
We
like,
never talked about these films, though.
any movie.
You're taking credit for the idea of anyone talking about a movie
Yes,
ever.
I am. I'm talking about putting people seeing movies, then sitting down and discussing these films.
Not just that, Morgan. You were saying a podcast in which
Grievous
Griffin and someone else talks about movies.
No, I'm talking about people talking about movies.
Yeah, see, George, you're giving him too much credit. He's claiming that he came up with the idea of people discussing films.
That's what exactly. Yes.
Well, wait. If George created Morgan and Morgan created this podcast, then George created this podcast.
God damn it.
I mean,
You
even,
know, you
that's
don't
true.
Morgan,
understand
what do you
I'm
think of this scene?
I think it's too bright.
It's supposed to be too bright. That's how he feels.
As a filmmaker, that's your complaint, is that it's too bright.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but you see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about, right?
You like this, what we're doing right now.
I'm saying this is what I was pitching when we were sitting in the golf cart, and you were going, "Oh, my skin feels crazy."
Because I was on Molly. I didn't know
Don't
what I
give
was
him any
saying.
money, Griffin.
Morgan, we're making a lot of money off this show, and I can't give that up because I got a lot of kids.
That's okay. That's not about the money for me. This was about defining something. I don't know what to call it. I would call it film discussions.
Morgan,
What?
I mean, to give you some credit, you brought that idea up. I said that would be fun. What movies do we talk about? What about Phantom Menace?
Yeah, and then you call blogger. You call a blogger.
Yeah, because do you remember what your response was?
Fuck you. I don't like Jews.
Yeah. You said, A, fuck you, I don't like Jews. And B, you said, never, Captain Kirk is a fucking herb.
Yeah, he's Captain. You guys want to come over here and slobber all over Captain Kirk's dick? Be my guest.
This is not a
Hey,
that
listen,
movie.
Morgan, if you don't like Jews, you'll love a character in episode 1 of The Phantom Menace named Watto because he's not Jewish. He's Guido.
No, he was my favorite character. We talked all about it on our podcast.
Yeah, double
Right?
anti-Semites over
No, that
here.
proves it because he doesn't like Jews and he loves Watto.
It's not that I don't like Jews, it's that I don't like Griffin's form of Judaism.
All right.
My form of Judaism?
Now, Griffin,
Yeah.
what form of Judaism do you practice?
Tell him.
Agnostic? I don't know.
Well, that's the worst
That's
kind.
exactly what I mean. I'm a big fan of Jews.
I'm sorry for not being a better Jew.
Criticism, that's what I wanted to call it.
The movie, you're claiming that you
Film
created
criticism.
film criticism.
Yeah, like in paper form, in film form.
David, how long have you
audio.
been a film critic?
Oh, I don't know. A few years, 7 years.
7 years, and then 7 years in one day is when we went golfing, and I came up with this
No, it was
wonderful
A
idea.
few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, your case is holding together pretty well.
Thank you.
But
Hard
I
to
still
argue.
think you're giving yourself too much credit. Look, Morgan, look
Griffin,
at...
this is your favorite scene.
But
Come
look,
on.
Booga and Obi-Wan are two people from totally different species with different viewpoints on the world, and they're working together against a common enemy.
I think this is wonderful. I can't wait for the Spock man to come.
He's not in this movie. That's a different movie.
What movie's that?
Star Trek.
That's what we're watching.
No,
Star
we're
Trek
not.
3, The Revenge of the Sith.
No.
And who are these? These are ghosts?
These are Jedis. This is why we
These are
couldn't-
ghouls?
You haven't even seen these movies.
No, they're
Morgan.
Skyping.
They're Skyping. Okay.
But there's stand-up Skyping in this
Did you
scene.
see Paranormal Activity 4, the ghost dimension?
No, I
think it
didn't.
was
How
the
was it?
fifth
It's
one,
a lot
actually.
like that. See,
Really?
Right there, yeah. And what's this? This is like a big air hockey table?
How do I make it up to you, Morgan?
I would love to have you in your podcast today. And here's what I would love. You don't have to make it up to me. I would just like for everyone to boo just Griffin.
Great.
Can everyone here just boo Griffin?
People aren't going to do it. I was wrong.
No, they did it very quick.
I was wrong.
Did it
Yeah.
without
Thank you.
hesitation.
Thanks for having me.
Morgan, look,
Morgan,
I
you're a big
I feel
LA
bad.
celebrity. Oh, do you want the dupes?
I want.
Oh, can I have a? Can
No,
I
I
have
want
one
to
of
give
these?
you here. Reach your hand in and pick some
Any
contact
contact chips. You're going to need a reader, though. They cost about
sorry.
$25.
And they're $25. Also, they take 9-volt batteries.
9 volt.
What did you get,
Again,
Morgan?
He looks like Paul Shear.
Yeah. No, that's not Paul Scheer, though.
If you look
Okay.
on the back, it has the name, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Rob Hubel.
Morgan
you,
Evans,
Morgan.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Morgan.
Morgan
Now
Evans.
you mentioned batteries again after criticizing me for talking about batteries in the movie.
So that's really your overarching point in this. It's about power. It's about literal power, how we abuse it.
The films are about power, the abuse of power, and energy is part of power. There's an energy in the universe. Dark side, light side.
You got a Spotify notification there, Ben.
Now this is
a
a
crucial
pivotal
scene.
scene.
Oh.
This is Palpatine telling Anakin.
I read on Wikipedia that his lightsabers are hidden in those vases.
Really, they're that big?
Yeah,
George's got Star Wars shoes on.
that's real. That they are
That's-
actually.
Yeah, these
hidden
are
in vases.
Vans, Star Wars Vans.
Pretty cool stuff.
I have to say they're horribly uncomfortable. I regret buying them.
Not good shoes? How much do you have final say? I mean, I guess you've given up the company now, but did you used to have final say over all the merchandise?
Yeah, I would approve everything.
Did you sign off on every single Comtech ship?
Yep.
What about that thing where the candy comes out of Jar Jar's mouth and it looks like his distended tongue?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lollipop is his tongue, so you have to make out with Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the lava berry Pop Tarts?
I'm going to save you some time. The answer to every question is yes.
Okay, so we're not even tracking with this movie.
I
No.
am. It's going great.
Okay, from this point on in the film, Hayden Christensen never has his head higher than a 30-degree angle with the ground. Was that a move that he came up with, or is that a note you gave him?
That's a note I gave him. The performances in this movie.
They're almost dancing with each other here. They're sort of facing off,
There's
circling.
definitely, yeah. The circling is very much it's a dance of power.
See, I totally forgot about this scene. And I've seen this movie 10 times.
He comes close to actually doing the right thing here, and Palpatine convinces him very quickly, with very little, that he should, keep it cool. Now, do you think this is a big question I've had
Sure.
throughout the whole series?
Yeah.
Was the prophecy was that Anakin was the chosen one,
That's right.
and that he would restore balance?
And he did.
So is the balance that there's just 2 good Jedis and 2 bad Jedis? Is that the idea of balance?
The
at the
balance
end
is
of
that
this
there were
movie?
too many
Spoiler
good
alert,
people.
guys.
There were too many good people in the world.
I mean, two balances out. Does that not add up?
2 equals 2, you're saying?
No. 2 is the same as 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think that? Does anyone want to check that the numbers work on that? I
No,
think
the
they do.
math, yes. 2 and 2 are the same number, George.
All right.
But I'm saying that is the prophecy in your mind, was that he will kill all the Jedi so that there are only 2 left and there's an equal number of Jedi and Sith.
But then also, ultimately, and I don't want to spoil, eventually...
Yeah, there's
that's
more
been
movies.
balanced. There's
Yeah.
more movies. Because I don't want to spoil too much, but in Episode 4, you might notice that, he's Darth Vader in that movie. You don't...
So Darth Vader's a big part of the next
huge
couple
part.
films. Okay.
And in the next movie after this one, Darth Vader, he keeps saying, other people will say, let's not do this. And Darth Vader keeps saying, no, I have an idea. This is how we should do it. And that, Darth Vader's almost always wrong, as it turns out. But then he's the only one who's unscathed.
So is he the main character in the next
No, he's not the
film?
main character. He's like the main bad guy.
Who are the main characters in the next one?
Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo.
The babies?
We're talking about...
Yeah, those babies.
Let's talk about this movie, Griffin.
Okay.
Come on. This is your favorite scene.
God. That is Booga.
He-
But that's
he's in
what
his
they
Dr.
leave Booga
Doom
behind.
car.
Yeah.
The iguana falls down.
Look at this. This part was fun to make.
Yeah, this is like the French Connection, basically.
Yep.
Now, Grievous has made a miraculous recovery since the last time we saw him.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
coughing and stooped over.
He's very agile now.
Adrenaline. He's very
Well.
excited by the fighting. Yeah. Don't underestimate him. He's bad.
Now,
Now they're just slapping each other.
Yeah.
he's presented as being a real threat. This guy's impossible to beat. Oh, he had to take a bike chase on a Booga chase. and lightsabers and this and that.
And then he just opens up his chest. One fluid motion.
Why wouldn't he wear like a vest? Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's so tough, he's so badass that he's like, I don't need it. I'm not gonna front.
He just keeps his organs exposed to everyone at all times.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm the baddest guy here. Hubris, classic in Greek tragedy, Shakespeare. Hubris. Hubris is a big theme.
But why wouldn't he close the chest panels back up at that
he should have probably done that.
He should have just clicked.
That was an error.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Now his eyes are going to catch on fire.
No. General Grievous never thought this would happen.
He's got fire eyes.
He never thought this would happen. This is his worst nightmare.
And that's what happens.
Right now, if he could talk, he would say, I have a bad feeling about this.
So his worst nightmare specifically was that someone would pry open his chest cavity
Shoot
with
him
their
in the
hands.
heart.
Yeah. Look, did you see what happened
his
to him?
eyes would
Leave
catch
it
on
there
fire.
open for a minute.
That was his
he would
worst. He
continue
never, in
fighting.
a million years, he never thought anyone would do that.
Okay, so Anakin had that whole conversation with Palpatine. Then he just gets back over to the Jedi Temple and he's like, "Hey, Mace, can I talk to you for a second?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the energy in this scene. Not looking at each other, stooped over. Okay.
Still doesn't believe it. 3 movies in, he still doesn't believe that creepy dude is maybe the bad guy.
Who has seized all power in the galaxy.
Yeah, weirdly.
Yeah, whoa.
Taking control of everything.
And there's definitely like something wrong because the Jedi's powers don't work anymore.
Yeah, which they're not telling anybody.
He doesn't, I mean, again, this is hubris. He doesn't want to believe it. Because he's like, this is our worst fears would be realized if this is true.
What was it like working with Sam Jackson, George?
I was fun.
You really let him cut loose in this movie.
No, there were a lot of takes we couldn't use. He's a very energetic actor, and I put a stop to that.
You told him no energy.
Zero energy.
Keep
I
a
sort
lid
of did
on
the
it.
opposite of what Kubrick's approach. You know, where Kubrick, when he worked with Nicholson on The Shining, he would use the craziest take, and I would do so many takes that eventually he'd get tired, and I most of the takes that I shot, it cuts right before he falls asleep. That's true of a lot of the actors.
You would just work all day until Sam was just a sleepyhead.
Look, the first takes would be so not what I wanted, and then we would just work them until they got to the point where it was like, we need them, because they should all feel very tired of this, what's going on.
Well, like Terrence Malick famously mostly shoots at Magic Hour. He waits until sundown.
Look at that. But I made Magic Hour happen. I don't have to wait for Magic Hour. I create Magic Hour.
And it looks just
If I wanted
beautiful.
every scene to be Magic Hour.
He goes to the temple while Mace goes to see Palpatine.
Yeah,
we have
he
never
just
figured.
goes-
Yeah,
no,
Now
just
you're
deal with
figuring
that.
it out.
he just goes to take a nice long shit. He's like, what else? I mean, look at him.
He's just sitting on a chair. We know chairs are for pooping.
Yeah.
That's how the Star Wars universe works.
Can I say they have a great apartment?
It's a very nice apartment.
Now, he's not on the lease, right? Because they're not legally married. Or they're not openly married. They are legally
Well, they might
married.
just be roommates.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Coruscant is very progressive in terms of domestic partnership. Like, it's a city planet, so it comes with all of the things you'd imagine. Very progressive.
But I have to imagine she's paying most of the rent, right? Because being a Jedi must not
do they
pay
make money?
I actually did talk. I talked to Woody Allen. Woody Allen was a big fan of the apartments that the characters have in this movie.
In this film,
He was like,
okay.
the apartments are great.
Yeah.
Really influenced the apartments in some. He was like, I was like, Woody, don't be afraid to have characters have apartments in your films that they couldn't afford.
Yeah, that looks a lot like the...
Like if you see Melinda is a
Yeah.
great example. Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
That came out before this movie. But go on.
The apartments in that are very reminiscent of this.
All right, so he's crying.
Ooh,
Crying.
wow. Now, I can't believe you allowed a tear here. That's
No,
uncharacteristic.
I didn't allow it. I CGI'd it. That's a CGI tear. I created. Oh, looky, who's here?
C-3PO. Why was
Notice the arms. That's how you make a droid. All gold. Why would you make a red arm on a droid? You have a question? What? But they were
Wait,
shiny.
Kid
They weren't
Fisto,
red.
guys, Kid
Oh,
Fisto.
shit. Kid Fisto, ladies and gentlemen.
Kid
Motherfuckers.
Fisto.
Fucking Kid Fisto, Sassy Tin in the house.
Fan favorite Kid Fisto.
No way. Kid Fisto's lame. He's like Aquaman.
No, he's not. Don't say that, Ben. Don't say that. We'll
gonna-
take a lot of guff about
Look at what's about to
movies from
happen.
you.
Now you were worried. The last hour of talking. What's it going to lead to? It's going to lead to this.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm
Yeah,
expecting
finally
like,
something's
One of the most
happening.
exciting scenes
knockdown,
you're ever gonna
drag
see.
out battle. Yeah.
This is one of the best scenes you're ever going to see in a movie.
I'm pumped. At this point, I've seen it 9 times. I'm still pumped. I think this is going to... Okay.
Good
Comes out from
lightsaber.
under his sleeve, like Travis Bickle style.
George.
Lightsaber
Right.
out.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
that.
He flubbers.
boy.
Oh, Griffin wants to know how come he doesn't fly
One,
everywhere.
2,
So Kit lasts for a second there.
He lasts a little longer. You knocked
Sorry,
3
Kit.
of your 4 Jedis out within 6 seconds.
Because he's a badass.
But Mace sticks up for himself.
Sam Jack's really,
He's
really
into it. He's
right?
into it.
He's giving full body performance.
Right.
Okay, and then Anakin's like, you know what?
I should come.
I'll get in the car.
I'm just gonna. I have the keys.
Yeah.
Palpatine gave me his spare keys.
I'll land on his parking space. Everyone can get in anywhere very easily.
Anywhere. This is a galaxy of access.
Pillars.
Now, Griffin, do you have a problem with the fact that Palpatine doesn't spin fly everywhere?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I just think if people had that ability, wouldn't they use it all the time unless it used up too much of their energy, is your point.
Yeah. Broke the space glass. That's the kind of glass that they use for apartments on Coruscant, because the buildings are so tall. They use space glass.
McDermott's getting into this too.
See, I'm loving this.
Yeah, very divisive, this performance. He should really chop his head off any time in this moment. Right, anytime.
That's not the Jedi way. That's not the Jedi way.
There's not even a door there.
A Sith,
just kick him.
A Sith would have done it, but a Jedi won't do
no
that.
door.
Because Jedis are good guys.
Cool shot.
Oh, Jackson.
He's going to Mirandize him. He's going to Mirandize him. Anthony Daniels dubbed that line.
Voice of C-3PO.
We couldn't get audio from McDermott. He wasn't available. So I was like, Anthony, you're British. Do it.
Now what?
Dark side energy bolts. Dark side energy bolts. Everyone say it with me. Dark side energy bolts. Dark side energy bolts. Wow. I mean, nobody counted on dark side energy bolts.
George.
Yeah.
The voice that Palpatine uses there, he has not employed at any earlier point in the films.
Well, do it a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And now he's turning
now
into...
his face is getting
he's got
turned
butt
into
cheek
mumbles.
forehead.
The influence.
Yes. What made him... Is his real voice the do it voice? Or...
Yeah, and is this his real face?
Yep.
That's his real face.
That's his real face.
So it was all a disguise up until this
He's
point.
been pretending.
He's been playing the role of a real human being.
This is his true nature.
This is his true nature.
Yeah.
So is he human?
He was afraid if he showed this face, no one would like him. And he was right.
But what do you mean? He's super popular once he shows this face.
Yeah, he gets elected to emperor.
Yeah, they're going to clap for him. Yeah.
They love him when he shows this face.
He was worried. But that's part of. I guess that's part of the lesson is don't be afraid to be yourself.
That's what this movie's
like
about.
he spent a lot of time
just be yourself, man.
Pretending, but this is what he identifies as.
Now Mace Windu, who you've established in the previous films as being the most powerful of the Jedis. Taken out. I mean, this is a sad death for a strong man. You know. He's knocked out pretty quickly here. Do you defend the way this depicts Mace Windu?
He's gonna say it.
Of course I do. Limited power.
So it's all about batteries?
He's not like a destroyer droid. He has unlimited power.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Why the black man gotta die, George?
Black man.
Why the black man gotta die, George?
Jonathan Braylock from the Black Man Can't Jump podcast.
Hey, Johnny.
I'm genuinely terrified right now.
Hey, James the Third from Black Man
I'm here too. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Thank you.
Bull.
Thank you.
In all due respect, Misa, sorry.
Okay, so George, these...
You gotta explain Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks is the coolest guy in all the 6 movies.
Oh, no.
He's cool, and he's a good friend. He's loyal. He gets a great
He's a
job.
politician?
He gets
Senator?
a great job.
First of all, how come he gotta cut the man's hand off and then you electrocute him and then he just gotta fly out a goddamn window? Pushes him out the window and he falls forever. It feels like you had some vitriol all over Mace Windu, the only black man in a goddamn galaxy.
Only black man in the galaxy.
That's not true. Lando Calrissian is also black.
We haven't seen that movie. We only see...
I have to spoil it. Later off, I cut off a Whitey's hand. I do, and he falls the same way.
Well, you cut off his hand,
too.
I do.
Oh, you think just because you cut off another white dude's hand...
I do.
It's okay because you cut off the... No!
In my defense, I'm 71 years old. I'm actually very progressive. You have to look at me in context.
What do you guys think of the defense? That was a pretty strong defense
Now
right
listen,
there.
I don't know.
I'm 71 years old. Nice to meet you, James.
Mace Windu is really cool.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do black women exist in these movies?
Great question.
Do they come back in the 4, 5, 6?
My wife is a black woman. That's true.
Well, is she in the Star Wars universe?
So you
She's
put
not in the movie.
Didn't you put your kids in these movies?
Yeah.
They're white.
How come you didn't put your wife in the movie, huh, George?
Because she didn't want to be in the movies, and I wasn't going to say no. And also, I made them before I met her. But she doesn't want to be in Star Wars movies, and I respect that. I'm not going to tell her she has to be in a Star Wars movie. You know?
Misa don't like it.
Yeah, no.
But Mace Windu is a cool Jedi. He's probably the coolest Jedi in these movies.
It's true. He is the
And
coolest
what
Jedi.
happens there is a bad thing. An old white man, like I was representing the way the unfortunately.
George is really on the ropes here.
No, I'm not on the ropes because what I'm reflecting. This is the worst events happen in Episode 3. This is the lowest point, and it reflects as a metaphor the way Earth society. Even though these are alien movies, and I don't want to make parallels between alien races and human races because that would be ridiculous and also troubling.
It'd be troubling if there were like racist characters in these movies.
I would hate that.
Yeah, what
What if? Well, we can speculate all day, but let's talk about what's really in the movies.
But Mace Windu's death is a big tragedy. I'm against it. I wish he won, but he didn't because these movies are a tragedy.
Right, but how come Yoda and Obi-Wan get to get away?
Well, isn't that how it always happens? Like, I'm critical of it, but like, typical, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Is that how it always happens, George?
It shouldn't be, but like, respect, right?
You had the power, George. You had the power to change.
And
you
how
had
come?
the power to
Wait,
change.
time out. How come when Anakin turns evil, he becomes a black man?
Hey,
No,
Does he not?
Yeah,
Does he
explain
not
that,
use
George.
the voice of James Earl Jones?
Explain his voice, George.
Explain it. Later on, I promise you this, later on it's revealed as a white man pretending to sound black.
So when he becomes a white man and becomes good again, he gets to be white? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, he's sad, and shriveled, and he's embarrassed.
but you're saying he's pulling a Dolezal the whole time.
Yeah,
he's doing the
he's-
voice.
he's very much-
Anakin Dolezal.
He's fronting the whole time. You know?
He's fronting.
Yeah. He's trying to play like he's black, and he's not. I think it's one of Anakin's worst traits, is that when he becomes Darth Vader, he tries to sound black, and he's not. Shame on him. Seriously, shame on him. And at the end, he's humiliated because they take off the helmet, and they're like, what? The most pale character in any of these movies.
So
Sad.
the whole Star Wars saga is just a lesson to white people not to try to pretend to be black.
Yeah. Be yourself. Just like with the Emperor Palpatine, like, be yourself. Don't pretend not to be shriveled and evil when you are. Don't pretend to be an actual politician. No one, I'm on your side.
I'm shaking my head, George Lucas. I'm shaking my head.
Shame on you for not liking Jar Jar Binks because he's cool.
What do you mean he's a bumbling buffoon?
He is not cool at all.
No, what if he read the internet the last month? What if he's not? What if he's pretending to be? What if he's
Wait, are
pretending?
you admitting that internet thing is true?
No, it's not true.
Oh yeah. So he
Wait,
is
what's that? I don't know the internet thing. What is it?
There's a theory
What's even
that he's
happened in this
secretly
movie?
just pretending to be bumbling, and then later will be a cool villain. He's not. He's a great guy. Who would pretend to step in poop? No one.
James, John, of course, you host Black Man Can't Jump, which is a podcast about
Great
the
podcast.
depiction of African Americans in big Hollywood films and whether or not they help the cause.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
And the cause is to have more people of color leading films
Right.
that are not about race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This film has one person of color,
Right.
admitted by George,
Right.
possibly Jar Jar. How do we think this film
Commander
ranks?
Cody, he's a Pacific Islander.
He's a Pacific
Jamora
Islander,
Morrison.
sure.
Yeah, no, I'll give it. Yeah, he's a guy who gets to be a clone and gets to get killed again and again and again and again.
And he's about to murder all the Jedi.
So how would I rank Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah,
I would
in
say
the
if you
cause.
gave it a black fist, if it helped the cause, a white
Oh.
palm. If
Black
it,
fist, white palm, or nothing.
yeah.
I mean, this movie gets nothing. I mean, it gets
This movie gets nothing.
There's no.
Hold on.
It doesn't support the cause in any way.
Let me, at the risk of causing another problem, have you seen the last movie I made was Red Tails? Not counting Strange Magic.
We're not talking about Red Tails right now.
talking about Red
George
Tails right now,
Lucas.
Do you like that movie, Red Tails? Do you
You
like
can't
that
just
movie?
bring up Red Tails like that. Takes care of what you did in this movie. No, it doesn't.
For decades, George, for decades.
Red Tails.
Because let's not even talk. You want to talk about Lando Calrissian? Lando Calrissian is a goddamn pimp. Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows Lando's a pimp.
You saying that in a good way?
No, in a bad way. There's no.
Let me tell you about. Okay, this is a spoiler, but here's how cool Lando Calrissian is. Okay, he's in charge of Cloud City. All right,
He is cool. Dying,
and
guys.
he shows up, but he's been tricked into doing this thing where he's had to betray his friend Han Solo, Princess Leia, all these things.
Doesn't even see this coming.
All quick deaths.
Can I point out though?
No real violence to the deaths like we saw with Mace Windu.
Right, these deaths are sad music playing.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy. When Mace Windu dies, he
doesn't
falls
even
out a
turn
window.
around.
He cares about a blue woman.
Oh, she does turn around. No, not really.
Kind of.
She gets damn some mushrooms.
They're killing her. They're killing her like what? Police kill black men all the time.
That's overkill.
There's 44 shots right there. Yeah. I was right.
No, hold on. But in Empire Strikes Back, Lando Calrissian knows that within a few minutes he is going to have to
Guys, you're talking about a movie we haven't seen.
I have to say this. I've
We
said too
don't
much
know
already.
what you're talking about.
This is Plo Koon.
He's going to
Plo
betray
Koon.
them, but with like 5 minutes until he reveals he's betrayed them, he's actively trying to have sex with Princess Leia. He's actively hitting on her. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a.
Like he
that's
thinks he has
pimp.
a chance. He knows 5 minutes later she's going to hate him, but he's still like turning it on.
Wait a minute. Is there a swirl? Is there a swirl in that movie?
What do you mean?
No,
Is it a black man get to have sex with a white woman?
Sex with a white woman.
No, but like he gives it his best shot in like the most dire circumstance because he's that
No
cool.
good, George.
He has
George,
a shot.
I'm shaking my head again, George.
Do you
I'm
think?
shaking my head
Do you
again.
guys think Disney would be crazy enough to put a black man as like a lead protagonist in their film?
I wish.
We talked about
That's
it.
the
It just
world
seems
I
like a
live
pipe
in.
It doesn't
dream.
seem. Yeah, it doesn't.
You
seem
guys aren't going to
possible.
be happy. He's a stormtrooper.
Wait, what?
They make a black guy into a stormtrooper. I never did that.
But all the stormtroopers in this movie they're not black. I don't understand.
They're all.
How does that work, George?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Just died.
George, I think you just have to swallow your medicine. You've
Yeah.
gotten two nothings.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You got two nothings
It's
on
just,
their
you know.
scale.
Yeah, sorry, George.
You didn't help the cause.
No, I'm portraying the problem in this universe. I'm showing that it is a problem.
By just being a problem.
Well, I think you're wrong about Jar Jar. He's a good friend, loyal, helps win a battle.
Guys, Anakin's
I don't know
about
what
to
else you
kill
want
some
from him.
children.
He gets elected to the Senate, then he gets tricked. You know?
I have one
Guys,
question for
Sure.
you.
Guys.
I have one question
Yeah.
for you.
Sure.
Is Hancock a good movie, though?
That's a good question. Griffin, that's
Is
a great
Hancock
question.
a good movie?
No, Griffin, that's a great question. Is
Hancock a good movie?
How do you feel about Hancock?
You like
George
Hancock?
Lucas?
That was a
I
really
haven't seen-
sad
I
scene
haven't
we just
seen
missed.
Hancock.
Yeah, we just.
I haven't seen Hancock. Is it a good movie?
It's a great movie, George.
I believe you. I believe
It's a
you.
great movie. James III and John Braylock from
All
Black
right,
Man
thank
Can't
you,
Jump.
guys.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you, George.
Thank you.
Padme's crying.
Padme's crying.
Oh, she's crying. She's sad.
This is more emotion than you usually allow in these films, right here. That's a full-on
Well, she's sad.
5-second shot of crying.
Yeah, she's sad.
People aren't allowed to be sad before then?
I showed people sad.
Mrs. Smits is going
No,
to go
this
crazy.
has to be your point of pride in the entire film.
This
the
is
entire
your son.
trilogy.
I'm proud
This
of
is
every moment.
Your son, Jet Lucas, as Zet Jukasa.
Hey, he's not here yet.
Smits.
It's versus Smits.
Pro Smiths.
What's wrong, Ben? Why are you sighing?
Going on?
It's a lot of movie,
Are
George.
you sad you missed
It's a
part
whole
of it?
lot of movie.
No, I've seen it enough times and heard these guys talk about these movies for
10 weeks in a row.
30 hours.
Yeah.
And I have to edit that.
Here's what's his name? Jet?
Jet,
Crazy.
Jet
Go.
Jukasa.
Look at that guy go.
No,
Look
but
at that
the
little guy
kid's
go.
called
Oh, the
Jet
kid's named
Lucas.
Jet Lucas.
Jet Lucas.
The character's Zet Jukasa.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're at like the hour and a half mark.
Wait, really?
Yeah, we're almost done. Thank God.
Woo!
Yes.
Can you play it at half speed?
Do you want to slow it down?
No.
This
no.
movie isn't slow enough.
Swimming.
Swimming. You had to point out that he was swimming.
Is that real or is that digital?
Digital. I find it easier.
I actually totally forgot about this.
Yeah, that's how great it is. Oh, fun.
What?
Nighttime, you never see him like this at night.
Well, thankfully
All these
all the
movies are
Wookiees
dead.
are dead.
But you said Chewbacca's back.
Yeah.
So is Chewbacca the last of his species?
No, he has a Christmas Life Day
I like
celebration.
they hid this thing behind a bush.
There's
You see that they
Itchy
moved
and
the bush
Ma-
aside.
Ma-
David, we haven't asked Griffin about how much money he makes.
I don't want to talk about it.
I
I don't
forgot
want to
about that.
He's gonna
Griffin,
miss
so
him.
what'd you clear on
I'm
vinyl?
unemployed. I don't want to talk
Griffin,
about it.
Griffin just filmed a whole HBO
Can I-
season.
I did 9 out of 10 episodes in a season.
Ben, can I make a request?
Yeah,
of
Can I
course.
Yeah,
request?
it's coming February.
Yes.
Coming in
February 14th.
Yeah,
Tonight-
Valentine's Day.
I make
As soon
residuals
as-
if you watch an HBO Go.
As soon as we're done watching the movie, can we watch all the deleted scenes from this
No,
movie?
we're not going. As
How
soon as
much-
we're done watching this movie, everyone's gonna leave, George.
If I watch
George.
vinyl HBO Go, how much do you make? Like 2 cents,
Sorry.
4 cents?
Probably something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Listen how great the music is there.
John Williams did do a great job in all three of
Yeah.
these films. Yeah.
All
Oh,
six
here's
movies.
this is such a cool ship.
This
Thank
is
you.
a great ship. Now tell us about the design process for this ship. That
Look
looks,
at this!
Look
Real
at that.
set!
So clean.
Look
so
at that!
Simplistic. Minimalistic.
Looks fantastic!
I love this, George.
That's all digital.
Where'd this come from?
That's not digital.
Look at this
Stop
bullshit.
lying to me. What is your obsession with digital things? Why don't you want to live in reality, George?
Well, you like things that are handmade, right?
Yes, I love them.
Digital.
So you're saying, oh, because the
Handmade.
fingers type the keys.
Well,
Yeah,
10
because it's
digits.
digits.
Yeah, digital.
Yeah.
I just don't understand this aversion to practical things. Is it because okay, you're the man who your wife left you for made
Griffin,
things
you're
with his
getting mad
hands?
again.
No, he was a craftsman. He made stained glass windows with his hands. And you looked at that and you went, oh, I'm only working on computers from here on out. No physical art. Is there any connection there, George?
Nailed it.
I didn't think I was going to win that one.
Wow, you got him.
that
No,
easily.
it's
I-
true.
I think John and James really knocked him out just
They
now.
did. You seem a little
Yeah,
defeated.
you seem a little winded after
George,
that.
I'm
Mace winded.
Ma-
No, I feel bad that they feel that way.
You do feel bad.
I do feel bad they feel that way. The only thing I can tell them is just go back and rewatch the movies. I think you'll see that you're wrong.
This is where Anakin has already murdered children. All right, he just killed
Did
a
we
room
miss
of
that?
children.
Did we miss
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
did
You were
we-
getting yelled at.
We were going to talk about the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, you were gonna do Benny Hill music over the child murder.
I
think
can't
that would
believe we
make
missed
that
that
scene
part.
so much
Yeah, we
better.
couldn't
What do you think about
technically work that out.
Little Benny Hill music while he's killing kids.
No, all of the music has to be John Williams unless it's like an Ewok song or Slice Noodles.
American Graffiti was like one of the big early
Great soundtrack.
instances of using pop songs. In
Oh yeah,
major films.
it changed everything.
And then you never did that ever again.
No, because why repeat yourself?
But then Strange Magic, you soundtracked it with the 100 songs that are on your iPod.
200.
Humble brag.
Yeah, well, each movie's different. Obviously, Star Wars, you want repeating themes. You
Okay.
want to have things like that. Every project's different. These are all just one long movie, 6-part movie.
So you're telling us up until this point, we've only seen half of the story. But
Half.
you consider, at this point,
It's a
we've just
6-part
seen
story.
Yeah.
7 hours that constitute the first half of the film.
That's right. And get ready. Apologies for the middle part of the next thing you're going to watch. Oh, this part's heartbreaking. They're so sad.
Yeah, he's really stroking her earlobe right there.
Good acting.
So, I mean, you seem to...
Even Ben's sad at this part. That's how it's...
Ben's just shell-shocked. Look at him.
George,
Last Fantasy
Proudly
presents.
presents.
I'm just trying to establish a
Is that the
timeline.
Empire State Building? That looks like the Empire
That does
State
look
Building.
exactly like the Empire
They
State
just
Yeah.
dropped that in there.
No, because this... No, if anything, the Empire State Building in our world ripped off that because this happened first and this is about the Empire.
This is a movie, George.
It's a-
you can't
it's
take
not
credit
real,
for
George.
things in our real world.
I'm a billionaire. I can do whatever I want.
Are you saying that Jews are based off of Watto? That
No.
they saw Watto a
He's
long
not Jewish.
time
I
ago
told
and
you
decided
he's
to base their behavior
I told you
off of
he's
him?
a dirty Guido.
How is that better?
It's not. I'm just saying it's different.
Oh, that's not even in this movie.
That's a great ship.
Cool ship.
Great ship.
Thank you.
This isn't so great.
No, that's just as good.
It's just as good?
That's just as good.
George, I'm just trying to establish a timeline here. So you make
Sure.
these
You know,
films.
this is
and
a long movie. You could have cut this, maybe?
No, you got to know how ships get into things. Otherwise, you would have been complaining how that little ship get into the bigger ship.
I will say,
Also, it pays off later.
these movies are very concerned with how people get to places.
It's true.
Like you always show them walking through the door,
Climbing out
exiting
of
the ship.
oceans.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live up in West Harlem, like Hamilton.
You live in New York City. How often do you talk about like, oh, the subway this or
Yeah,
whatever?
but nobody's making a
taxis?
movie about him
Yeah.
talking about taking the subway.
Most people cut those
Well,
parts
that's not
out of
my
the
fault that no one's making a movie about Griffin. That's not my fault. I don't make movies anymore.
I mean,
But that's
He's
a
got you
common
there.
thing.
Still have
People
power.
love to talk. If you live in a city where it's a lot of like driving and highways, people talk about, oh, how do you get to work? How do you
Sure.
get here? And I think it's valid to show like how people get from here to there. Big universe.
Oh, great edit.
Mustafar here.
So, describe this planet for us,
It's
George.
a volcano planet.
Right.
You know how like you have one planet made of cities, this planet's made of volcanoes.
The whole
Is it-
thing's a volcano.
Is it all one volcano?
The whole planet's a volcano. It's a
It's
volcano
one
planet.
volcano. It's
Yeah.
this whole planet.
And are these guys just mining volcanoes?
Yeah, they get hot rocks for energy.
That's the energy source. Is lava blocks?
It's an energy source.
Now,
It's
this is-
controversial because there's a lot of people saying like it's not sustainable. You're going to use up all the hot rocks on the
Right.
planet. Like we need to find a better power source.
So the Nemoidians, who I know you've defended them, but
Here
were
they
not
are.
popular characters.
They are popular characters, and you insist they're Asian, even though you admit they've never been to Asia, nor are they
I
related to
don't
anyone.
know that they've been to Asia. I didn't say they're not
I'm
Asian.
telling
I
you.
said-
Okay, do you know that I created Star Wars?
Yes, I do know that.
Will you trust me when I tell you that neither they nor anyone in their families have ever been to Asia?
It is hard to trust someone who has hurt me this much, George.
I know.
A lot of tension.
How did
on
I
the
hurt
stage
you? I
right
made
now.
magical films for you that you've watched again and again and again. How did I hurt you?
He's got you there.
George,
Show me on that bag of toys where I hurt you.
I mean, here, okay, ready? Lot Dodd, Jar Jar Binks, Captain Panaka.
Hours of joy.
Panaka ain't so bad.
Yeah.
Cool scene.
Cool scene. That's just a shot of a ship.
Here's another shot of a
Just
ship.
a shot of a ship. You know how that started off? It was just green.
I mean, yes.
And I turned it into that, and I turned this into this, and I turned this into this.
Your argument has always been, if I don't love these movies, then why am I watching them so much? And it's because, honestly, these films contain all the elements of everything I love in a movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love spaceships.
Thank you.
I love epic storytelling.
You're
Laser
welcome.
swords.
I love lasers.
You're
Love
welcome. I
laser
mean, these are
swords.
all, you're naming things that are in this
Robots.
I like long-term narratives spread
Sure.
movie.
out.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
I mean, it took
sagas.
6 movies. Do you like R2-D2?
Yeah, he's
We'll
cool.
take a
I
look,
know
because
he's
there he
kind of a
is.
dick. I don't know.
He's all right.
Are you glad he exists, or you wish I would cut him out of the movies?
I think he has a lot of potential. I see so much potential in all these
Who are these
movies.
little
These
guys?
these are great.
Why are they?
They're just fun little floor robots. They're like little. Why you want answers to everything? They're fun little
Because
scatterbots.
it feels like you're just throwing
Griffin,
glitter in our face.
this
You're doing
is-
like a Rick
this is the
Taylor.
depth
I
of
would,
one of
you
your
know
favorite
what? I wish
characters.
someone would throw glitter in my face. It sounds fun.
The Nemoidians have been established as the ultimate villains throughout these films. Really, right? I mean, they set the whole thing
They're
into action.
evil. They're greedy.
You cut away right when Anakin's gonna kill them. You show us Anakin
Yeah, we
killing
don't get to
children.
see him die.
More powerful if you don't show it.
You show Yoda killing stormtroopers,
Yeah.
clone troopers.
Yeah. There he goes. Yoda's cool.
Yeah, Yoda's.
You know what, Griffin?
He's too
I think
small.
you're. You know what?
You want to make.
Here's
bigger?
the problem with your
Way
Here's the
bigger.
problem with your generation. Oh wait, take a look. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, no.
Hogs.
I want to hear what the problem is with my
No,
generation.
I don't want to hear what the problem is with our generation.
There he is, Jar Jar. Jar Jar, represent. Not. He doesn't represent black.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
So see, this is everyone loves him. He should have done this way earlier.
Yeah, that's
people
what he's
are
learning.
accepting him for who
That's
he
what
is.
he's
How
learning.
come they're not saying his
That's a
face
po-
is all fucked up?
That's a positive message.
No
No.
one knows what's talking about
If
that.
Joe Biden suddenly showed up like that, people feel sorry for him. He'd be super popular.
No, they would be talking about
They
it.
would. No, they
These
would.
dead
But
children.
how come he uses that popularity only to do the wrong thing? Why doesn't he turn back at this moment?
Why doesn't he at least cry right now? He's looking at a room full of dead
He should
children.
be crying.
Now you're begging for CGI tears. By a lightsaber, he was.
Little Benny Hill music.
Oh.
Someone has a question about Yoda?
Someone have a question about Yoda?
Here's the problem with your generation, okay?
Yes.
Earlier
Look, here it
generations
is. Here it is. He's
knew
killing
how to
them.
have fun
he
and
kills
appreciate.
most of them on screen.
He does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were wrong. I'll accept your apology in any form.
Just say sorry, Griffin.
The problem with my generation is.
The problem with your generation is, earlier generation, when I made Star Wars movies, they liked them. And then your generation, so you get everything handed to you. There's Jar Jar again. There's
He's
Powder.
in a
Powder.
blood red.
A little cameo by Powder.
So you're telling me that the generation that saw the early test screenings in the 70s and 80s
Yeah, they knew
liked
how to
them,
enjoy a Star Wars film.
and I disliked these movies when I saw them, and that's the fault of my generation.
Because you get everything on your phone.
This was 2005. I probably didn't even have a cell phone at this point.
Okay, well then you were sad about that and it affected how you saw the movie.
Do you take responsibility for anything in your entire
Sure, I
life?
would take responsibility for me in 5.5 for the best fucking movies of all time.
Red flag. Red flag.
Yeah, seriously.
That's a major red flag.
Oh. Great orator, though. He's good at speeches. That's why they like it.
Wouldn't it be great if a president did that just
Oh.
after getting
look
a
at that!
speech?
Look at that eye acting from Smits. He did a full middle to left eyeball move.
Did you tell him to do that, or is that
No,
CGI?
I did that digitally.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, now you hate these guys, but look how great it is now.
What, to watch them die?
I don't know. Could have done with a decapitation there.
Well, yeah, Dooku, you went all out, and this guy, you gave him like a cut across the chest.
Yeah, you got to do everything different. And look, it's General Grievous' favorite color again. You see how much of it there is.
Yeah, Yoda's the same color.
You think Jocasta Nu died?
Ooh, what happened to Jocasta Nu, the librarian from Attack of the Clones?
They're in her library right now.
Died of a stroke, unrelated to any of this. I didn't want to show that because that's just sad and doesn't further the plot.
Yeah, these movies definitely stray away from tragedy.
I've said I host a monthly talk show at UCB East, and I have said before that people ask why Jar Jar isn't in this movie.
Uh-huh.
And I have said before, and I'll repeat it here, that I had to cut it. The problem was Jar Jar's plot in Episode 3 took up the same amount of time as this movie. But
you shot 2.5 hours.
Wow, so there's a whole other movie.
There's a whole other movie, basically.
Okay.
Jar Jar gets lost in a grocery store and causes all kind of mayhem, all kinds of havoc. And it actually was the best part of the movie. But sometimes you have to cut the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, like it's too long.
That was supposed to play as one continuous scene. There was going to be like an hour and a half of Jedi
In the middle
stuff,
of the movie, there was one
then
continuous scene
2.5
in the
hours
middle
of Jar Jar
We
in a
tried
grocery.
different edits where we would cut back and forth, but we were like,
Yeah.
I think it's better if it works as 1 hour and a half, a 2.5 hour shot
Yeah.
in the middle of it where he's in a grocery store.
It was one continuous shot. It was like Birdman. It was one.
Yeah, because it's digital. There's no cut. It doesn't
Right,
matter.
right.
You know?
You know
And
what? Fuck you, George. What do you mean?
no, but I had to cut it just because it doesn't advance the plot of this one. And then
Again. No emotion from
No
Obi-Wan.
emotion.
He's whining about having to
No,
kill
they're
Anakin
in
right
shock.
now.
They're in shock. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Chuck doesn't look like this, George. These
No.
people are just. It's like someone
I mean,
told
the
them that the
characters-
subway's going to arrive in 5 minutes.
No, most of the characters in the prequels are in shock the whole time.
They look like they're experiencing a minor inconvenience. That's what it looks like.
Well, that's what people in shock. They don't, often aren't projecting the emotions that you would expect. Oh,
Here's that lovely
great
apartment
scene.
again.
So we've seen like 7 scenes since the moment that Anakin landed on Mustafar and killed all the Nemoidians.
Right.
What's he just doing now? Like 3 days have
Just
passed.
walking in a circle.
Just making sure they're dead.
He's just in a room with dead bodies for 3 days.
Make
checking-
sure they're dead. Because you don't know, maybe they come back to life.
No, see, I've commented that there's some interesting tension between McGregor and Portman in this scene.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Was that intentional? Because
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels like they have a little
He touched her
chemistry
just
here.
then. He
He
touched
did,
her on the
yeah.
shoulder just then.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I wanted there to be something fun going on here.
I have seen a ... security hologram ...
But did you ever consider having that as like a motivator for Anakin to turn to the dark side and lose his trust in the people closest to him?
What do you mean?
Well, his best friend, his mentor, and his wife. If he suspected them of having an affair, that maybe that would be the impetus to then freak out and kill a bunch of people rather than just being worried because you had a nightmare.
I mean,
you
this
know?
is Griffin. Okay, that sounds like a great, complicated Merchant Ivory film, but this is a children's movie. You got to keep it simple. I want kids
All right,
to enjoy this.
Stop trying to get answers.
I want
from
kids to
Griffin.
have fun when they're watching this movie. And what you're saying sounds like it's very sophisticated. I applaud you. Maybe write a college paper on it or something.
Have you ever watched a child watch one of these movies?
Sure, they have a great time.
They do. You see
Yeah.
them just having fun watching scenes like this.
Yeah, they have fun.
They're just having a ball
They
when
have
they
fun.
watch stuff like this.
Yeah, they love it.
He has become a very great threat.
That's a great line.
That's a line.
And she can't. That's why she says it. And then they just think about it. They got a lot to process. He gets up. She sits there because she doesn't want to get up. She feels differently than him. He stands, but he looks at her because he has another question. He wants to know, is Anakin the father of... And she's like...
By the way, doesn't look pregnant
Doesn't want
at
to
all.
tell him at
Where's
first.
the baby?
Not pregnant.
Yeah.
Where's the baby?
She's not showing because...
She has a fountain in her apartment.
Yeah.
She has a water feature.
She has twins, and
That's
she's
a-
12 hours
that's a-
away from delivery.
that
Yeah,
was-
she's about to give
Yeah,
birth.
that was a space bidet.
Now, George, this is coming up on the most effects-heavy stretch of the movie, maybe.
Oh.
Mustafar,
Yeah.
the final
this-
battle.
You see all
this.
that, everything. Oh, it's all gone so wrong.
what a dark side he's turned to.
So we promoted that we were doing this show, and
Yes.
we were contacted by a former employee of yours from ILM.
All right.
Your special effects company, who said he wanted to come talk about the process of doing the effects
Yeah.
for this scene. He said this was the most complicated scene in the movie.
Sure.
So I don't know his name. He emailed anonymously, I think, so as not to sever the relationship with you. We have an ILM employee here to speak on the film. Ladies, a round of applause, please.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, George,
Hey, how
good
you
to
doing?
see you.
How you doing?
Good to see you again.
What's your name, sir? I'm sorry.
My name is Mike Drucker.
Oh, Mike
hey,
Drucker.
Industrial Lights and Magic.
Yeah, that's the name of a former guest we had on the show, but you're a different person.
It's a different person
Mike.
entirely.
So
Like a
you
3PO
said-
run. That was just a CGI 3PO that ran
Yeah,
out of the
right
ship.
there, right there.
So,
Motion
Mike, give
captured
us some
that.
insight into what's going on.
Yeah, so you give us a time code. You said this timestamp of coming up right now is the most special effects heavy moment of the entire film. I assume you mean the Mustafar battle.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
No.
The most, what little people don't know is that our most advanced CG character is Hayden Christensen himself.
Really?
We started by hiring a Canadian actor, but then he wasn't very good, so we thought we could do better with motion capture. And if you watch the scene soon where he talks to Natalie Portman, you can really see that it's some of the most advanced CG we've ever done.
So who did you hire to do the motion capture?
That was me.
You played the
That
role.
was me. Well, I have a similar body type.
I'm amazed
and,
you don't recognize
George
him,
said
George.
that.
Yeah.
See, right here, complete CG.
Looks great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
I
you did
appreciate it,
great.
George. I only do the best for you. Well, this scene's going on. This scene isn't very important. Does anyone have any questions about the effects in the film?
Yep, it's open call. Any
Please,
questions?
anyone has a
about-
question about the effects in the film? Did 90% of them myself.
Where you're talking to
too
apparently
impressed.
the man behind the role
They're too impressed.
of Anakin Skywalker.
See, right here, this was made on a Cray computer.
So you used all the vocal tracks that Anakin recorded.
Yeah. Well, we had him in a studio for 2 weeks. Right now, Padme Amidala is about to land, and she's played by a real woman named Natalie Portman. You can see her in other movies. But if
Okay.
you've noticed, Hayden Christensen hasn't been in anything.
Yeah, not in a lot of
Yeah.
movies, Hayden.
We tried to put him in a
That's a
movie
good
about
point.
a reporter, a small indie thing.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Nobody saw it, so we killed the character.
So you're saying Hayden Christensen wholly owned by ILM?
Wholly owned by
Wow.
Disney now. Disney now, unfortunately.
So
Sorry,
loo-
George.
Loosely
I got the money.
inspired by a Canadian TV actor and then brought to
Loosely
life
inspired,
through
yeah.
the magic of digital
You're
effects.
really holding on Natalie here.
Yeah, you
George.
got it. You can't cut away from this. Not when that's happening.
So, all right, CG right there. I don't know if you
Right.
can tell, but this is not a real place on the planet.
No, I can tell. Yeah, I can
This
tell.
doesn't exist.
Well,
Okay,
because it's also not a real planet.
right.
Yeah.
All these windows, green screen. You don't think it, but all right. So here he comes. That took 3 months for that shot.
And that's you walking.
That's me
Wow,
walking.
how do you
If
get him to
it's like,
hug?
all right, hug.
Did you have to wear a robe, or was the robe CGI'd?
No,
separately?
the robe is CGI. I mean, I just wore a bunch of ping pong balls. Now watch his eyes. His eyes actually never meet hers.
That was intentional. This was an intentional choice.
See, we do our best to keep the eyes down. Eyes, most human part of the person, so we try to keep them out of the shot as much as possible. Closed.
So what was the creative intention?
So that's the
there?
reason you just couldn't get that.
We couldn't get that right. If you
It's just
notice,
what the technology wasn't there.
right?
Okay.
It was 2005, 2004, different time. All right, you see,
Yeah.
you can't see their eyes ever meet.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to look at her because he killed younglings.
Right, of course, of course.
You know?
Now, that's kind of a cheeky smile. That's an interesting acting choice for you.
Well,
to
we
throw
had a
in there.
stock, we had a sort of a stock archive of different expressions you could put on him, so you could animate it faster. So this is confusion.
So he's like an emoji kind
He's like an
Yeah,
emoji,
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of, but before emojis.
So Hayden Christensen was kind of your Simone.
He was my Simone. I would call him my Simone. I did fall in love with him in a way.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
And
How
did-
can you not fall in love with that face?
Did you think there was a big career to follow? Did you think you had made the ideal male
I thought
movie star?
I honestly believed there would be hundreds of thousands of movies with him in them. And unfortunately, the audience just didn't connect with him the way they did with our other CG Jake Lloyd.
So Jake Lloyd was motion captured too.
Jake Lloyd was also motion capture. We tested him in The Sixth Sense. People liked him a lot. So, or Jingle All the Way, rather. That was Haley
Sure,
Joel Osment.
sure.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Make things the way we want them to be.
See? Right here. There's a big line between the shots. Different shot. That's a stand-in right there with long
Okay.
hair.
Is that you wearing a wig, or is that?
No, that's
think
just a
your favorite
stand-in.
line
That's
is coming up.
approximately the right height. 5'3". All right, see right there, stand-in, CG character. That's a tennis ball just being held up for Natalie Portman to respond to.
So was she acting against anyone on set on the day?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
But what about you,
Absolutely
not? George always told us that the best way to do it was to give them nothing to respond to at all.
Okay. I find this endearing. I
See?
do.
I
I don't
know
know
you
if
like
this is
this
good
scene.
acting, but
Yeah.
I find
It
it
is.
endearing. She's so earnest.
See, she's really acting, and we're doing with the best we had in 2005.
So you're saying it's a matter of limited technology?
Limited technology, limited time, limited budget.
Okay.
This was an independent film, technically.
That is true. With a budget of, I think, $150 million.
Griffin, this is what you wish for. This is what you wish for, Griffin.
Don't say this is what I wish for. I didn't wish for him to murder her.
Obviously, we
No, you wish for them to be that tension. He sees Obi-Wan there, and he gets mad.
Yeah, because he thinks that she told him, not that she thinks they're together.
See? Again, she's supposed to be 9 months pregnant with twins, guys.
We would also never have an actual
Just to let
man
you know.
force choke a woman.
I mean, that's respectable. I'll give you props for that.
Great line.
All right, now we're about to get into our second biggest CG effect, the lightsaber battle.
Right.
I like this little, like this, it's almost like
the
a
dance,
pre-samba kind of like stare down, you know?
See? None of this
Except
existed
Obi-Wan's
on Earth.
just overloaded with awful exposition.
But Ewan McGregor was real, right?
Ewan McGregor was real, but if you notice, we had to hold off for a while because we didn't have the processing power to actually have them, get close to each other in a physical way.
Yeah, it's like Roger Rabbit and Bob Hoskins. They can touch only very rarely.
There's no life in his eyes.
So that was
You did a great job with the hair.
limitation that you had to weaponize.
That's what we had to weaponize. He was going to say the light side the whole time, but we figured dark side, no life in his eyes, easier way to go with it.
Is that true, George?
Yeah, some of it's true. It's all very complicated. When you're making a movie, there's a lot of different people, do a lot of great work on it. You try to control every aspect of it, if you can, ideally.
Again, not a place on Earth.
Yeah.
And now it's, that's easy
now
to
it's
do if
flubber.
the guy's digital the whole time.
Now we're just in Flubberland forever.
A lot of people compare this part to, like, Shakespeare.
To, like, Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Any particular Shakespeare?
Who? Name one person.
Tragedies.
I would say it's like Shakespeare.
Well, basically, I hate to call you out on this, Dave, but your former employers spent all last week giving big smooches to these movies.
The AV Club.
The AV Club last week says these movies are great. People should appreciate them.
Before I go, though, I want to point out one thing.
Yeah.
Yoda, you don't think it, CGI.
You're kidding me.
Absolutely.
That's not a guy?
We thought about going with a puppet, and no one would believe it, so complete CG.
Who did the performance for Yoda?
I did.
You did the Yoda?
I
How
did
many
the Yoda.
characters in this film did you play?
I did the Yoda by going on my knees and putting 2 shoes in front of my knees.
So you dwarfed it. You did
Yeah,
it
Yoda
Tim
doesn't wear
Conway
shoes.
style.
All right, well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you for
Mike
coming.
Drucker. No relation. No relation to past.
Dark Side
But I
Energy
hear he's a
Gold.
Tonight Show fan.
Oh,
Ben, you're back.
I heard a noise backstage
okay?
before that sounded like a man dying, and it was Ben making a noise. I think you just don't.
Just weary.
This movie is taking a toll on you because it's devastating what's
emotional.
happening. I'm sorry. I'm giving you the movie you need, not the movie you want.
I don't want that. I don't want to pay for
Well,
that.
yeah, but this sets up the next movies where things go differently.
How many times do you have to set something up before we get to the part that we actually want to see,
Make
George?
this movie good.
Make the thing we want to see.
3 times.
Get to the
3
point.
times?
The answer is
Next
3.
thing
It's the same number of licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop.
That's your inspiration, was
Yeah.
the Tootsie Roll Pop.
Yeah, 1, a 2, a 3.
Yeah, and then he bites.
3.
He cheats. The owl cheats, George.
I'm not the owl. The number could be the same. The intention can be different.
George, I know I'm coming at you with a lot of anger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am too.
Give in to your anger.
I feel like
You're
Griffin,
supposed to
come
feel
on, look
angry.
at this.
The whole
Look
point
at
of this
this.
movie is it's supposed to make you mad. That's how Anakin gives into the dark side. He gives into his anger.
but I think these are the movies of someone who doesn't trust other human beings anymore.
I don't.
Who views love as an
Why-
evil.
No, it's not an evil. I have a good wife now.
Well, right, but this movie was made in between those 2 points. You have a wife, she leaves you for a stained glass window artist. You make these 3 films, and then you get married afterwards. And now you seem
And then it
much
makes
happier.
Strange Magic, which is a very happy movie about love.
Yes.
Okay, well, artists, are you going to get mad at Van Gogh for what he painted after he chopped his ear off?
No, I'm just trying to make sense. Are these
Are
films
you
a
going
cry
to get-
for help? Are these the cries of a lonely man who just wants to find human connection in the world?
Look, this is my blood on the tracks. You know what I mean?
George, I'm asking you.
It's a little dude and an old guy fighting.
Were you sad, George?
Like,
No big
No, I was very
hairs.
happy, but sometimes you can draw on a past sad memory and tell a sad story.
Griffin,
No, but I'm getting
Look
at
at this.
something.
Look at this. He's choking him out. He's choking him out.
George, do you make these films so someone would ask you if you're doing okay?
No, I make these films to make people happy and make people angry, make people feel things, and also make a lot of money.
George, can I say something to you?
Sure.
It's not your fault.
I know it's not my fault. It's the
It's
fault
not
of
your
that guy who
fault.
made the stained glass window.
George, it's not your fault.
Listen, I know, Griffin, I'm not the one who has issues. You're talking about building a room that's a replica of your mommy's house.
George, it's not your fault.
Listen, this is a great movie. You're missing the point. Look at this battle.
Have you ever seen Good Will Hunting, George?
This is the Pog battle.
Listen to me. Look at this. Find one thing wrong with this.
You almost broke, Griffin. You almost broke through. You were close.
I was
no,
really
you were close.
No,
I
you're not
thought
close.
Movies are the language.
I'm a happy guy. I had a great life. Things are going great for me. I made Star Wars.
He has
What
$1 billion.
else do you want?
He does have $1 billion. All the money comes back to George.
All the money comes back to George. Look at that. Oh, that's good acting. That's good. Sword fighting. Ben's crying because he's so sad. He knows how it's going to end.
I like this part where they just
Ben, you've
swing
seen this
the
before,
swords
right? So
around
you know
for
how it
5
ends,
seconds.
right?
Yeah, no, I know
Ben,
how it ends.
Ben, have you seen the ending before?
Yes.
All right, so that's why you're sad.
Yes, that's why I'm.
You should be sad. Look at this. Oh, they want to be friends, but they can't be anymore. They're jumping and fighting. They have problems with each other, but I think deep down they want to care about each other. They just can't
So
anymore.
are they activating? What are they doing here?
What? They're on a volcano planet.
They're turning off the machine?
No, they're fighting in a room that has machinery.
So the fact that things are activating...
Now they're out on the patio. All right? So it's more dangerous because inside they
I
were
would say
safer.
it's more of a veranda.
Inside, I don't
Yeah.
think you could tell. Inside was air conditioned. Outside is very hot. Volcano hot.
See, this is the Pog battle. They're just throwing Pogs at
great,
each other.
Great work. Oh, boy. Now this is fun because he's controlling those like little frisbees. I don't know why we didn't make these as toys. People could throw these.
They didn't make these as toys?
You didn't make these as
Not
toys.
as frisbees.
Oh,
It'd
that
be
would have
great
been good.
Frisbees that explode when they hit something.
We've seen Yoda prove himself to be a great fighter. Why is he so...
No, we haven't. We saw him
He's
lose.
really...
we haven't seen him be a great fighter. He lost the fight to
stumped by
Dooku.
this. Oh, he does. Yeah, he does the spinning
So is
move
every
here.
Yoda fight a draw?
That we see. I didn't want to show him winning fights. That's boring. And you hear the musical theme from it's the
From Phantom.
Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
It's all coming full circle. So if you like Phantom Menace, now you're like, oh, good, the song I like.
Every time I hear this music, I want to eat Taco Bell food.
Did you have a hand in that campaign where
Yes.
the Chihuahua and Colonel Sanders and the Pizza Hut employee all went on a journey across the galaxy in a car?
Yeah.
Did you write and direct those?
I didn't direct those, but those were canon until Disney decided to make the expanded universe not part of it.
You seem to have a lot of resentment for Disney.
I don't. I love their money. I just hate their decisions.
That's gross. That always gross.
Yoda's
Oh.
fingers suck.
Gross.
Yoda.
So you have no creative say over the future of Star Wars?
Not anymore. No. I email them stuff, but they don't like it.
You think they've added you to a spam filter, George?
Sometimes I feel like I'm going in a folder I don't like. Oh no, he lost his.
Well, this is silver
His
lining.
jacket.
Okay, this is silver lining. I do have a complicated relationship with these movies, but I admit it would be fun to be in a Star Wars movie. So you said the next one comes out in a couple weeks, right?
Right, that one's done. You can't be in it. It's locked.
Okay, and the next one, episode 8. Is there an episode 8?
Yeah.
It's in 2 years.
Yeah.
Are they still casting for
No,
that?
they're done casting on that.
And who's directing that one?
That's Ryan Johnson.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, he's a good director.
J.J.
Yeah.
Abrams, Ryan Johnson. That's a good
These
choice.
are some good names.
Okay, so are they going to make an episode 9? They have to round out the trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
see
could
where you're-
audition for that.
I see where you're going
That
with
could
this.
be fun. Who's
Yeah.
directing episode
Oh,
9?
I'm trying to remember his name. It's the guy who directed Jurassic World. Hey, my friend Steve helped produce that. Don't boo it.
Colin Trevorrow?
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow. That's his name.
Colin Trevorrow is directing
a
episode
Star Wars
9?
movie.
Episode. No, not episode.
Yeah, it's 9.
9.
He's do- So
Sorry,
this-
bud.
Do you think he's ever listened to the podcast?
Probably.
We've mentioned him a
It's a
couple
very
times.
popular podcast. I like this scene a lot. And here they are. They're still fighting on the volcano because that's now you know they really mean it.
Yeah.
Because like if they didn't mean it, they would have stopped fighting by now. But you can tell like there's no hope for them. They're
You
fighting.
think they couldn't maybe like take a break and be like, hey, let's move this somewhere a little safer?
No, they're so mad at each other. The reason they fight on a volcano planet is I wanted to show that they're so mad at each other They don't even say, let's go fight somewhere that's not a volcano.
Obi-Wan's mad because Anakin killed a lot of people. And Anakin's mad because Obi-Wan was on a ship.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how you know
just to get everyone's motivations in line.
Obi-Wan is a good guy, and Anakin is now a bad guy. And you can tell that because Obi-Wan's motivations are a little more noble. And Anakin's kind of unreasonable because he's going to the dark side.
So how many hundreds of people worked on this, 1-2 minutes?
I mean, it's all about the same. It's all about the result. Oh, this is a great scene. He's in there. This was actually just candid
Showing
footage.
how he gets places.
This was just candid footage that we did of him having
Jimmy
a schmitz.
Smits knows to pull up.
Smith ship.
Smith ship. But this isn't the Smith ship. It's just
good
a
ship,
Smith
though.
ship.
Yeah, it is a good ship.
Smith
It's
ship.
not the Smith.
Into exile,
Into
I must
exile.
go. Fail I have.
So he takes responsibility, George.
Well, he knows he messed up.
Okay.
He should have won.
And you also said in our last episode that Yoda was the character you related to the most.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel that, you have failed?
In any way, at any point in your life?
Never.
You're not going to get him, Griff.
No, I mean, if by failed you mean, you think this movie's a failure yet? You can't stop watching it, and it's a hugely successful movie by any metric.
Oh, no, I can stop watching it.
I don't think you...
Easily.
You say that, and yet here you are.
That's true. You got me there.
Yeah, I've been.
Yep.
Now they're going to swing at each other.
I know you're...
Best kind of lightsaber
I know that you're
fighting
friends with Griffin and
on
David. I don't
ropes.
believe you're that good of friends. You would watch this many times if you didn't love it on some
But he's
level.
on payroll.
Now, what's
He's
going
the only one
on
who gets
here?
paid for
What are
doing
these
his podcast.
things?
Oh, beautiful work.
Now, in a behind-the-scenes documentary, you credit Steven Spielberg with coming up with this idea of the thing.
The
flipping
director.
over. The director. He
Yeah.
helped you out with some of the previs on this movie.
Yeah, we're buddies, so we all help each other out with ideas. I mean, any filmmaker, filmmakers who
Ooh,
are
that
friends with
looks
each other,
realistic.
There's just
help
no
out.
weight to this sequence.
Yep.
and you'll always contribute a little bit. Like there's insert shots in The Godfather that I directed.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like
That's
when,
crazy.
when Al Pacino's character sees a newspaper headline,
Yeah.
and it cuts to the newspaper, I directed that.
You directed the shot of the inanimate object.
Of the newspaper.
Okay.
And I had a great time working with it, even though it was a practical effect. It was easy to direct the newspaper to get the performance I wanted, and it really felt very similar working on these films. It was like it's like I'm working with that newspaper from The Godfather again. Getting that same level of like classic
Ben's
movie
just
performance.
texting right now. Ben's just on his phone right now.
I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. You should have.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
Here we
He tells them that James Bond is evil.
this is the
and then
denouement of
Anakin
the film.
explains from his point of view the Jedi are evil.
Yeah, from his point of view, you see the Jedi are evil. Look at those random guys.
And so you see what he feels is true from a certain point of view.
Now, George, we're coming to a sequence that I really don't understand, which is the high ground
Let's talk about the
sequence.
high ground.
What is that about? Yeah, you really got to clear your throat out for that one.
Pulling a Grievous there, aren't you?
Pulled a little Grievous. The high ground sequence, a classic film sequence that movie fans love to watch.
Now, in this sequence, even though
I don't want
they're
to ruin the
both
mystery of it,
Jedis
but it
with
is
magic
important.
powers,
It is significant.
because one of them is a little higher than the other one, he
Okay.
is undefeatable.
All right,
Even
well-
though Anakin could go anywhere else.
I have the high ground. It's over. And he holds his hands up like,
Why doesn't
it's
Anakin just jump down over there and then run at him?
First of all, do I need to explain to you how lava works?
Don't try it. Don't try to jump over me.
He just
because I'll slice your
lazily
knee.
slices at him.
No, I mean, you're taking it literally. He was higher, but he has the moral high ground. That's why he's going to win
that's
it.
true.
Why has that never come up in any previous battle, though?
Yeah, why
What
don't
do you mean?
Jedis just constantly try to run up some sort of ledge or slope?
Yoda had the high ground over Palpatine because he was in a higher hockey puck.
Yeah,
in the,
I know,
in the
but
Galactic
Yoda will
Center.
never have the high ground. He'll have the moral high ground, but never fully have the high ground because he's so short.
He's very short.
So you're saying it's literally about
No,
who's taller?
This is Ewan's big moment.
This is Ewan's big
Oh.
moment.
Yeah.
Which he will eventually. Yeah.
Well, you could argue he already has.
With brought balance to the Force?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2-2.
Kind of a cold move to just leave him there.
Well,
he's,
or he
he's
could
still
just kill
mad.
him.
Yeah.
He's still mad at him. And also, he hates him. He's still saying hurtful things. I think
Anakin hates him,
we
yeah.
cut Obi-Wan a break. Because even at this moment, Anakin's still saying really horrible things. And Obi-Wan's saying nice things.
That's true. Well, he also said...
These are nice things, even if they're past tense.
Yeah, past tense.
And Anakin is saying things
Ooh.
like that.
Little
And now it's
lava.
really too late for him.
Yeah, when you get close to lava, you know your clothes catch on fire.
You're saying that like it's not true.
Yeah, I am saying that like it's not true.
Fun fact, not real fire. It's all digital. And Obi-Wan hates this. He's like,
yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, no one would want to watch this. Happen to anyone,
I want to say
let
this.
alone someone they've
right
known
now,
for 10 years.
Right now, Obi-Wan hates this.
Yeah, of course he does, Troy.
He hates
Where
watching
does he go?
it. He's like, I can't watch this. It's disgusting.
Did he like park near here? Is that why the battle concludes here? How does he get over here?
He walked over there.
For a film so concerned
That was a great
about how
cut.
people get
That
to
was a
places.
great cut. I filmed it, but because Ewan was saying, let's film the part where I walk from here to there. And I'm like, I'll film it, but there's no way I'm going to use it. I'm going to do a hard cut from you walking over the top.
Now
being back
she's
in the
9
thing.
months pregnant, by the way. All of a sudden.
Okay, well, these are space pregnancies for one thing.
Yeah, just real quick.
It's good. And look, she feels terrible right now. She can
Doing there, Griff.
I have to admit, I kind of lied to you guys earlier in the evening.
What?
Okay.
I said we were done with the fan fiction.
Now, come on, Griffin.
What's happening?
Well, I went off easy at the beginning. I picked a very, very chaste story.
Are we going to miss the end of the movie?
Well, I just think this is someone giving birth, which is the product of sex. It's topical.
Griffin.
But it's,
At this scene
she's
in the
gonna
movie.
give birth to two major characters.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Rachel Lang wants to get back up here, I did find a different story about Anakin and Padme, and I felt like the last fan fiction segment didn't really play that well. So I've asked two friends of mine, performers, actors, comedians, to come and sort of interpretively act out the sex acts that I'm going to read. So if Rachel Lang can come to the stage,
Great.
and also from our cousin podcast on the UCB network, Murph Meyer, and Diana Kolsky from Menage a Trois.
Hey, Diana. How you guys doing? Nice to see you. Sorry about this.
So we're going to read a story for you right now that's called Taking Charge. And it's sort of one fan fiction writer's foray into the BDSM genre. I like to call it 50 Shades of Padme. And it starts out the way that all good stories start out, with the writer saying it starts out. And Rachel will take every other paragraph. It starts out with Anakin teasing Padme about her fighting abilities. In spite of the many scrapes she's managed to get herself out of without Jedi protection or assistance, the fact that she put herself in the line of fire is irrelevant, she argues, because she took care of things herself. Her husband's reluctance to admit that she's capable of saving her own skin pisses her off.
So there's no dialogue in this.
Oh,
Look.
Anakin says, and he starts putting his boots all over the expensive throw on her bed, which doesn't help his cause. Oh, that's not... Okay. It's cute and everything that you want to help out. I just think you're better staying behind a desk. It's safer. His gaze is well-meaning, even a bit adoring, but Padme is feeling like she has something to prove. Suddenly, Anakin is being straddled.
Moves fast.
He laughs, ignoring the annoyed expression on his wife's face.
I love it when you get all feisty.
He grins.
Good, Anakin.
Not answering, Padme starts digging in the top drawer of her nightstand. She pulls out a filmy scarf and begins winding it around the glove wrist of Anakin's robot hand. Anakin watches her, bemused. Soon both wrists are tied to separate posts. Anakin on his back, his head propped on a couple of Simmer Shilk pillow shams. He watches his wife dangle another scarf in front of him and cooperatively lifts his head so he can tie it around the back of his skull, effectively blindfolding him. This is great podcasting. No one listening to this will know what's happening on stage. What does the senator need all these toys for? He asked, amused, cocksure.
Padme slaps him abruptly across the face. It's open palm, but sharp, and Anakin's mouth forms an O of surprise. You will speak only when spoken to, Padme tells him, and there is a husky tenor to her voice now.
Anakin bites his lip, still unable to stop grinning. Yes, milady, he answers. Padme growls and digs into his sides, and he squirms. Ah, okay, no talking, he mutters.
You're horrible at this, Annie, Padme complains, and Anakin can hear her clothing rustling.
Loud close.
He manages to stay quiet while she divests him of his outerwear as best she can by sliding and shoving it up and down. He knows his nipples are exposed when he feels Padme's perfectly manicured nails flicking one of them. He groans. Padme shifts a bit and seems to be rummaging around again in her nightstand. A small sting lands between Anakin's pectorals. A crock, he guesses. And he moans openly, able to control himself, but knowing he doesn't have to.
Padme whips him along his torso and up and down his thighs. Her crop gets dangerously close to his penis, but seems to be carefully kept away.
Do you like this?
Padme asks / orders him in her senator voice. A hand grabs his cock thoughtfully.
You sure seem to be enjoying it.
Yes, m'lady.
Anakin feels Padme shift and realizes he can feel her bare legs and ass rubbing against his own naked skin. He smiles against his wife's mouth when she kisses him. I want you to eat me out, Annie, Padme says softly, close to his ear, her warm, sweet breath tickling his cheek not unpleasantly. She doesn't repeat her directions, simply moves forward until Anakin can smell the heady, musky scent of her crotch. It takes a moment to get the right rhythm, Anakin's, and balance, Padme's. Anakin can feel his wife squirm as she struggles not to sit on his face and neck outright, or to bear down too hard.
Anakin's tongue darts out, steady and methodical. Padme's pubic hairs tickling his nose. Padme quivers and moans as he licks her cunt.
Oh, God.
Gasping and clutching her husband's hair and shoulders, and her own breasts as his tongue rubs against the tiny nub at the top of her slit. Anakin catches on quickly and begins concentrating on that specifically, running his tongue in slow circular motions, breathing carefully so he doesn't asphyxiate. It's an arduous project, even though Padme is pretty well fired up, but Anakin has had to endure multiple hours of meditation with Master Yoda. And that's way less fun. And that's the end of the fucking story. Big thanks to Dana Kolsky.
Thanks, guys.
Merv Meyer. Listen to Menage a Trois on UCB Radio. Thanks again to Rachel Lang.
Just in time for Darth Vader.
To Rise. Now, George, this is your least favorite word in the universe.
That's right. It's a useful word. I understand there's context in which I'm in favor of it.
A negatory.
Listen to.
The fact that he says it at this point, that's to you a sign that he is irredeemably over on the dark side. Yeah,
well,
sure.
because right now this is like the point in Midnight Cowboy where John Boyd is like, "Give me the money," and Bob Allen's like, "I don't have the
any
money."
So the Emperor is Bob Balaban.
The Emperor is Bob Balaban in
I
this
see.
scene.
I see, and he's John
like,
Boyd.
But I did what you wanted, and I'm supposed to get money for it.
Now he's right. She was alive.
And this is how John Boyd felt when he realized he engaged in an oral sex act with Bob Balaban and wasn't even going to get paid for it.
And so that's why
Just like
now
Anakin,
he's going to say...
turned to the dark side so that his wife wouldn't die, and she died anyway. And look, Palpatine. Oh.
You're wincing right now.
Me?
Yeah, you're shaking at the utterance of that word.
Because I feel terrible for him. I feel terrible for Annie.
Bad word.
For Annie.
Little Annie.
I should point out, because I think it's a good piece of writing that I'm really proud of, that during the sequence where sexual things were happening, Amidala died, and it was made very clear that medically speaking, she was completely healthy. They don't know why she was dying. She had simply lost the will to live. This is what a medical droid said. I think that's a good explanation because we don't know why she died, except maybe she just didn't want to live anymore.
You think it's a good explanation that the movie itself tells you that it doesn't know why something is happening?
No, but they said she must have lost the will to live. So it did tell you.
Should we go back to it?
No.
No, we shouldn't go back. We just have to muscle through this. George, I'm trying to get you to admit
You're not going to get him to admit anything.
That you feel that you're a hurt man. And I'm not saying you're a sad man. I'm not saying you're a bad man. I
am hurt that they won't let
me.
They won't use my ideas on the new movies, but I don't have anything but good feelings about this movie.
I think these films are the product of your loneliness and your feeling of rejection from the world, a world that didn't trust you and didn't support you. This is the third film. People didn't like the first two.
They love the first two.
These are a cry for help.
Hey, listen, go to your web browser, go to avclub.com and see how much people don't like these movies, okay?
Griffin, the movie's almost over.
No, I just wanted
That's
to
why
admit.
he's mad. He's like a child lashing out now. The same way that Anakin said hurtful things when he was mad. You're mad now that the movie's about to end, and you're worried you won't have a reason to keep watching it.
But if I'm Anakin, you're Palpatine.
No, I'm Yoda.
Why are they wiping their memories?
No, just C-3POs.
Just C-3PO.
Not R2-D2s.
So R2-D2 remembers everything?
Yes.
So in the
can't
next,
tell anyone. He's
in
trapped.
the next 3 movies, they don't know what happened?
Good acting about to happen.
Elephants pulling her casket.
Yeah, space casket.
So Naboo, open casket funeral always.
Yeah.
There's her parents. Those are her parents.
Yeah.
These are the only times we've seen like a lot of citizens of
Sad.
Naboo.
Jar Jar, very sad.
Jar Jar.
Acting sad. People
Sad
say
boss
he's just
nass.
a comedy character, but that's devastating. Look how sad Jar Jar was.
Elephant Tails. And this is
Academy
the one
Award
shot.
nominee Keisha
This is
Castle
her
Hughes.
follow-up to being nominated for Best Actress for Whale Rider.
Yeah.
That's
Good
her
choice.
whole performance.
Good choice.
Good choice. Did you shoot more with her that was cut
No,
out?
that's all I needed. She's so
She's
good that I
carrying
was
this
like,
little thing.
let's
We
use her in
never
small
mentioned
doses. Just a little bit of seasoning, just a little bit of spice right there to make the ending perfect. And now look at these ships. Really cool.
That
Darth
is a good
Vader's ready.
ship. I'll give him credit.
It's okay. Could
I
be
like
better.
that ship.
Could be better.
And look, they've got new outfits.
This looks great.
They've got new outfits.
I like
That was the first
So
thing.
why did they switch to like Galaga computers? Like, how did that happen
Some of
so
the
quick?
technology
Better-
looks
look
very
what they're
retro.
making.
Yeah, suddenly it's just lights, just
Look.
a lot of blinking lights.
Yeah, it's just an aesthetic change. It's a little bit more Swedish, kind of like Sparts.
Yeah. So you're saying that the Empire
And
really
he's,
refined
he's
design.
a little bit like,
A little grumpy.
not happy about this. Darth
And up until
Vader's
this point, all the people
folded
working...
his arms just the way the Jedi used to fold their arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
He
notice
doesn't
that?
look at the ground though.
Up until this point, everyone working for Palpatine has been a robot, and suddenly has a bunch of Germanic humans
Yes.
wearing Third Reichy uniforms.
Things have changed. Darth Vader's now on board. He's got some new ideas. Part
Do
of
you
it's
get
like,
it,
let's
Griffin?
get more.
These films are never nothing but not subtle.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this scene?
This is the Smith ship landing.
Oh, this is where he's from.
The baby. He's bringing...
He gets one of the babies.
So this is one of the lead characters of the new movie, Leia.
Yeah, you'll see.
So
That's
is the
his
next...
wife. That's his wife. Remember when he
yeah.
talks about his wife before?
She is appear.
Yeah.
There
she
she
does
is.
appear. I drink too
He'll
much.
take
She
the
is
girl.
a peer?
She is
He'll
a
take the
peer.
girl because he has a wife.
Okay, that's
okay.
reductive. George,
But that's what he says. He says,
Me and my wife
"Me
have
and my
always
wife,
wanted a
I
little
always
girl.
wanted a girl.
There she
I'll
is.
take the girl."
is the next movie like Star Wars Babies? Is it like them as toddlers?
A little bit, but we flash forward a little bit. We jump into the future a little bit more.
Now, I want to say this is pretty gorgeous.
I like this.
Yeah.
Well, if you like this, you'll love the next movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's more of this?
Yeah, a
this
lot
is
more
good.
of
This
this.
is good. It's very minimal.
Are Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in it?
Yeah, but they're older.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, thank you. I'm cool.
I'm pumped for the next movie.
And
I've been
Luke's in
telling you
it?
this whole time.
Yeah, you're super cool, George.
That's
Luke's
the
in
point.
it. He's in the desert.
Yeah, in the desert, they're farming for moisture.
He's a moisture farmer.
He's a moisture farmer because, as I told you, energy
Here's
is
Joel
important.
Edgerton.
God, I gotta say, I'm like now knowing there's another film after this. I get chills looking at this ending.
I know, it's good. Look at
Imagining
the
what
painted
lies
sunset
ahead.
there.
God, and they're two
suns.
suns. I
Very
didn't even
cool.
notice
Last
that.
Fantasy proudly presents TLF Sub Team. Joel
wish-
Edgerton right there.
God, I hesitate to say this, but it does feel like
I
there's
know. There's a new
a
hope.
hope.
Yeah.
There's a fucking hope that things might.
Yeah,
Look up
that
for
part's
us.
new.
Oh my God, it's over.
Directed
Oh, wow.
by George
We did
Lucas.
it.
Wow.
Can't believe you guys
thank
watched
God.
that.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Produced
Rick
by Rick
McCollum.
Tricky Rick McCollum.
Can you make these out, McCollum? Rick here? Rick, are you here? Rick? Rick? Now let me.
Oh, no,
You
we
may-
have to go through the
Let me go through-
credits
yeah,
now
it's not-
too?
Well, we're big fans of billing order. That is a big thing.
Oh, yeah, we
in
like
writing
billing
a
Trisha
movie.
Bigger. Trisha Bigger.
Turn off the subtitles, Ben. They are
Yeah,
not
turn off
helping.
the subtitles,
What the hell
Ben.
is this?
You know what?
Casting by Christine Kang.
Because the subtitles only have one credit. They make
Ben
it last
Burt,
all the time.
MVP.
Ben Burt.
MVP.
Burt killed it.
Ben
Burt
Burt's
killed
great.
it on this
movie. Sounds great.
John
John
Williams,
John
MVP.
Williams did a
music.
great job. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ewan
So
McGregor
Ewan
first
McGregor
build.
first build.
Wow. And then
Yeah.
Portman and then
Portman.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
everyone, if you like him, clap for him,
Yeah.
you know? Now
Or,
Portman's
or
getting
your
nothing.
silence can speak volumes.
Hayden.
No,
Christian
respect-
third.
respectful
McDermott.
claps.
McDermott's
Respectful
fourth.
silence.
Yeah, McDermott's fourth.
Okay.
All right.
So then Sam Jack.
No,
And Frank Oz as Yoda.
And
That's
Frank
right.
Oz.
Co-starring Smith.
Smith.
And Chewbacca.
Yeah. Chewbacca gets weirdly
I'm
on
the
the
best.
best.
Oh, wow.
Oliver Ford Davies, who's Sile Bibble.
Silas Carson,
Kenny
that's
Baker.
Newt Gunray.
Yeah.
With
With Samuel Jackson.
Honestly,
And Christopher Lee as,
And
as Count
Christopher Lee.
Dooku.
honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Wow.
I couldn't make these movies without Kenny Baker.
He's the guy in the R2.
He's in
thing.
the R2.
He's the little guy.
He's a little guy.
It's the one character we couldn't figure out how to. I mean, like, you got to have him in there.
We've never been able to really judge his performance.
Yeah, is he
How
good?
hands-on was he in the development of that character?
It's very crucial. That's
Really?
the one thing where, like, hopefully someday you'll be able to make an R2 performance in a whole movie completely without him inside.
But right now
But
you need
right
him in
now,
there.
there's always at least one shot where you're like, got to get him in there. Get in there.
Well, George, it sounds like this is the last Star Wars movie that you're ever gonna make.
I mean, probably. I mean, I've said publicly that I'm going to make more movies, but I'm not going to release them.
Jet Lucas.
I did say that in an interview. I said that
They'd be experimental movies.
I'm going to make
you said?
I'm going to make movies and not release them. Mousy McCollum.
Is that Rick McCollum's
You bet.
child? Yeah.
Mousy, that's a weird
I know.
name.
Mousy's a great name. She is Mousy.
If you still had control over the Star Wars franchise, what would you make next, George?
What would I make?
Yeah.
Oh, I almost don't even like thinking about that question, but like, I would probably make one that was even funnier than anything I've done before. I'd probably make.
So you think comedy? That's the turn to take.
I still have to be a space adventure, but like, I'd do like a Bib Fortuna movie.
We don't know who that is.
No. Oh yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
who
you
that
don't
is.
know who it
No,
is.
he's in Phantom Menace.
He is?
Yeah, he's Jabba the Hutt's secretary.
I mean, that's a very, very peripheral character.
Well, he's a big important character 3 movies from now.
Okay. All right, I'm looking forward to that.
Make a movie about him. He's always getting his thing stuck and stuff.
He's got a sort of a tail.
Like, I would make a Jar Jar Bib movie where Jar Jar and Bib go on the road.
Like Midnight Run, where like Bib is very serious and Jar Jar keeps
where
on trying to
Bib's
get
like,
a rise out of him.
Yeah, Bib's like, Jar Jar, you're a real doo-doo head. And Jar Jar's like, Misa want to be friends.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, probably good that you got the $1 billion instead.
Yeah, it was a toss-up between taking $1 billion or making that movie.
Making that movie.
I just want to ask you one last time, George.
Sure.
Do you have any regrets?
Nope.
Do you,
What?
do you
2.5
feel
hours
any
later,
remorse?
no regrets.
Griffin, something's bothering you. What do you think I should regret? These movies are all hugely popular movies. There'd be any negativity that happened because of internet commenters and the Reddit crowd, Twitter, things like that, has been wiped away in the past 2 weeks with a flurry of online support for the prequels.
One AV Club article for you negates.
No, last week,
15 years.
no. There were multiple articles last week.
I think there might have been 2.
Even articles that weren't about the prequels would drop in little references about how things like I'm paraphrasing, but like these are great.
Weren't they? Wasn't it more like they're not so bad?
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of the argument?
Yeah, because when you're negotiating, you always don't take your exact stance. You work towards it.
Why are you this defensive,
Griffin.
George?
I'm
think
not.
You're the product of a wounded man. I just want you to open up and tell me that you feel.
Griffin.
I'm not even asking you to tell me that you're sad or you regret anything. I want you to tell me that you're a human being with emotions, George.
Griffin, I'm not a grown man with a little bag of toys that I already have. All right? I'm a billionaire who did everything I wanted.
Griffin. This is the last time we're going to talk about these prequels.
He's raising a good point. He controlled me.
Yeah.
This is
He's
the
got
prophecy.
you.
This is exactly where he wanted me the entire time. He wanted me here angry, on stage, doing his bidding, yelling with a bag of toys.
Yeah, but it's going to be okay, Griff. Because we're going to do A New Hope.
I do like they have that Chewbacca Furby. Have you seen that?
No, there's a Chewbacca Furby.
Everyone seen that? The Target? This guy's nodding. You've seen it? There's a Chewbacca Furby.
So like, hope is not lost. I didn't have anything to do with that, but that's one thing that I looked at and thought, nice. That's a
You're
good
happy
move.
about that.
A Chewbacca Furby.
The legacy continues.
I did try some Go-Gurt the other night. There was some Star Wars Go-Gurt that you can get for the new movie. It tasted pretty good. And they make it look like a lightsaber on the packet.
Oh, that's smart.
Special thanks
That's
to
good.
Nokia and Dell. This is
George,
Sad, it's the last Fox
Forget
one.
George.
No,
it's
no,
over.
You know what? No, do you know what I'm going to say?
That you're sorry and you like these movies?
You have given us 36 episodes of podcasts.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, few movies could sustain this much. And I mean, look, it's been ups and it's been downs, but I guess at the end of the day, I have to say thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, thanks, George.
Thanks, Griffin.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
And above all else, a big thanks to producer Ben.
Of course.
And
Ben Deucer.
The hero.
Here's his desktop for you right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Beautiful.
There's a lot of
Beautiful.
Hooker Loves what? Hooker Loves Special Edition? Baby Roll Dummy? What's that? Baby Bomb.
I
man.
unplugged it.
The FBI is on their way.
Oh my God.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the movie Strange Magic is available on DVD and high definition download. You can buy it on iTunes. It's a lot of fun.
And you still host a talk show at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater.
You do.
Yeah,
Every
I do
month.
that, but I mean, Strange Magic is what I'm here to promote.
That's the main thing. This is part of your tour, your promotional tour.
And it's a record breaker, right? Box office record breaker.
Broke box office records.
Okay.
It was the lowest grossing animated film to be released on 3,000 screens.
That's true.
Did everyone like the movie? I do want to ask. Did everyone like the movie?
George, this is not. We don't have time to get answers from everybody.
I'm willing to take a question and answer about
We're
how
not
much.
doing a question. These people have been here for over 2 hours, George. We're not doing a question and answer.
I don't see anyone getting up. I don't see anyone leaving.
These people are so. Everyone's wearing their jackets.
So let me ask this, Producer Ben: is it possible to start it up again? We'll watch it again.
Absolutely not. We're out of here. Thank you very much, George Lucas. Thank you all for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
2 weeks we're back with a new podcast. Thank you all for listening.